Last we left off, Ira had managed to procure Rictavio's wagon, and you all headed west towards Rictavio's tower. After arriving at the tower, you found a mysterious wagon parked outside, and the tower completely abandoned. After a moment of poking around, your position was swarmed by a pack of werewolves who were seeking a woman you did not know of by the name of Esmeralda. The apparent leader, named Kirill, could sense that there was something different about Anderson, and pried as to why he could not transform. A woman who was traveling among the pack named Zulika confided in Anderson privately that Esmeralda had a hand in allowing her husband to be captured and now locked away in a cell in the depths of Ravenloft. We ended the session with Zulika telling Anderson that maybe you could both help each other out. Still looking around you, the werewolves all kind of tending to their own wounds. The mood has relaxed ever so slightly. They had still been singed, at least half of them had been damaged pretty heavily from Asterius's wall of fire. But you see Carol now kind of bandaging himself up, looking around. And finally, he just says out to anybody that's willing to answer, "So none of you know who Esmeralda is or where she's at?"
That's
No.
what we've been telling you. But this is her wagon, you claim? We're here looking for somebody else, actually.
Yes, you said that, Rictavio. I'm not familiar with that name. But yes, this is her wagon. I've seen it multiple times. She's one of the Vistani. And you can see his complexion is not unlike that of the Vistani, who tend to have more of a tan or olive-colored skin. But he seems to have some sort of hatred or disdain for every time he says the word Vistani.
I'm not a fan of the Vistani myself. Did you follow her trail here? Do you know of this tower?
We've been by this tower several times before. It always seems abandoned. Haven't really seen anyone around here. We were out patrolling the woods, looking for prey. And he, smiles a little bit, and you can see the fangs of his teeth. He's still very feral in nature. Like, even though he seems to be in his full human form, there are still, hair in some places that you would say don't typically grow on your average person. Nose to seem to be even a little more elongated. But
Is there any chance that I would realize that when he says prey, he's referring to us?
You can make an insight check.
Insight.
When he says prey, and even with a little bit of a smile, Panton, you...
Actually, I want to do one too, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. You do think that he is talking about you. You kind of shudder. You're thinking to the fact that he was thinking about you guys being their prey. Ira and Honora and even Temperance, you realize even though he's smiling, looking around, that you weren't necessarily the prey that he was talking about.
If I
Yeah.
see Panton kind of blanch at that, then I'll say, I'm sorry, you'll have to continue your search. We haven't searched the wagon yet, but it does have a sign on it that says, what was it again? Keep out.
Let me pull it up. I'm pretty positive it did just say keep out. Very, very plain. Van Richten.
Oh, there's the tower door, but that's it. That's all I got.
Yep. Just a cheap wooden sign that kind of hangs over top of the lock that says keep out. He kind of turns and looks towards it. Walks closer.
Now, you know this woman better than I do. Would she make such idle warnings?
I don't know her very well. All I know is that she's a traitor. She betrayed us. We let her be an ally, knowing that she was outcast from the Vistani camps. For being different, for wanting something different than they did. We thought she was on our side, but she betrayed one of ours. Zulika's husband now rots in the cell of Ravenloft because of her. I know it. But as he gets closer, where's that?
I want to step over to Panton and be like, I didn't see any spells in Ravenloft, did you? Other than the dead ones under the water?
Yeah, well, we really didn't have the opportunity to explore everything because I was kind of a bad boy. So, yeah.
Oh, I love that you admitted that. Growth.
You know what? I'm never telling
ahead.
you anything again.
As he's getting closer, kind of just turning back to answer your questions, he starts sniffing around the wagon. We have no use of this wagon. She's not inside.
Can you pick up any other scents? Anybody else who might have been here?
Do you have anything of theirs that we could go by?
Nora,
Yeah?
did we find anything of... I can't remember if you brought the armor down so that it's obvious that I could see it, or if you left it in the tower.
I did not have the armor.
Okay.
I think that was Temperance and Anderson that found it.
Oh, okay. Did we
Um,
find anything of Irina's?
Are you asking me or the crew?
Remember we
I'm asking
Okay.
our group, I guess. Because I
yeah,
didn't go
I remember
and
we
investigate.
found things
We might have left them in
and
our
we
hurry.
found the head. I don't think we ended up grabbing anything.
No, it was up there, but we didn't grab it.
There's also the head up there,
I thought
wasn't
for sure I
there?
grabbed the armor.
Yep.
But
I don't know how many times you should say that we found a head in front of these lovely folks.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna mention that.
wasn't it a Vistani head? They don't like Vistani.
I mean, maybe. It was kind of shrunken and gross.
Just what the Vistani deserve.
It was a normal sized head. It was just like coated in a special magical wax that preserved it.
Oh, well.
What is with you guys and wanting to collect heads? Honora, you were never like this when we got over here.
It's not in my head. I didn't take it. It's upstairs.
What do you... You found a head?
I mean, Anderson did.
That's typical.
Anderson, did you put it in your pack with the other head?
No, he doesn't
Have
have the
another
other head
head?
anymore.
Wait, is Anderson like away from everyone else? Like,
Yeah, he is.
If
guess we
they're
call
saying
out.
all of this out loud, there is just the most confused side eye from Asterius. Like with
Okay,
it,
but-
like
So,
like
Asterius,
with it,
just to fill you in.
not even with his good eye. Like I imagine you're on the side of his bad eye. So it's literally just the case of the gesture alone. Just of what the fuck are they talking about?
So,
Well, we would have
Asterius,
had a
just
chance to talk, but we got interrupted. Yes, I think we have something that belongs to the person we're looking for, but it just happens to be at the very top of the tower. If you'd like, one of us can go fetch it.
I'll go get it.
Okay, there's an elevator on the inside.
Okay,
It's just really slow.
great. Can you show me how to work it real quick?
I think you just stand on it.
Okay.
And they go like up. Now you
Yes.
gotta wave your hand a
Yes,
little bit
I
like this.
understand. Thank you, Panton. I will
Um,
go
I'm here to
inside
help out.
Alrighty.
and
Yeah.
see if I can find anything.
Yeah, as you step in and you approach the now seeing it at the bottom, there is sort of a cage without any sort of walls on either side, and the stone golems that are standing to the side grab a hold of the chains as you step onto the platform, and you feel that sudden lurch as the platform yanks from the stone kind of embossment that was laid out into the floor.
Wait, does Ira know what he's looking for? He might bring the head.
I think that's what we're supposed to bring. Is that not
No,
what?
no.
Oh. Oh.
I'm going to do my own investigation up there. Not that you guys know that, but
Okay. Yeah,
can't wait for those natural ones.
it is really slow. It takes it's gonna take you about a full 2 minutes to get to the top.
okay.
Like I think
If
it was
other people want to talk more.
moving what was it, like
20 feet per round.
Yeah, 20 feet every 6 seconds, and the tower's like 80 feet. No,
So then
it's
I'm
taller
gonna
than that.
go
I can't remember what it is, but it's really, really slow.
So I'm gonna go over towards the female werewolf
Okay.
person thing.
Like, so, not a fan of Strahd, are you?
I'm
Not
gonna
either.
stand next to Panton to protect him if she swings at him.
She doesn't. She breathes heavy at the mention of his name and
Knight's
turns.
still young.
I am not. I am not a fan of him at all. If I had my
We're not
way.
either.
And she flashes her claws. She's like, I'd cut his jugular.
Oh. If there's anything that we can do to help make that happen, that would be great. And if you want to fill us in on any plans for that, that would be awesome as well, because we kind of had our own little run-in with Strahd, and we're kind of not allowed back into one of the major towns in the area, and I'm blaming it squarely on Strahd for that one, because he kind of manipulated everybody around a little bit and decided
Panton,
that...
Panton.
What? What?
It's okay. She doesn't need to know our life story.
Fine. Yes, we're not fans of Strahd either, and if we can help out in any way, that would be great. Are you happy, Honora?
That sounds lovely. That was a perfect sentence.
That's very boring and very not... It hurts my soul to do that. You know that, right?
Why would it hurt your soul not to word vomit at people?
Because it's what I do all the time.
Well, I mean, practice makes perfect. If you stop word vomiting, then maybe your soul will get used to it.
No, that sounds like terrible advice.
Eventually, Ira, you do make it to the top. I guess I will have to move your token. Give me a second.
Oh, sorry. I'll do that.
No, that's a pain. All right, and as you reach the top, you see a wood furnace, kind of still down to the coals. You see a made bed. Doesn't look like it's been slept in. A chest at the end of the bed. You see a desk with a few scattered papers on it. and you also see a suit of armor standing in the corner, but nothing really of note. What are you looking for?
I mean, suit of armor is Irina's, right?
No, Irina's armor is actually behind, kind of resting up next to the bed
Okay.
along the wall.
Well, I guess I'll do a general investigation check. I assume that the head is like either in a large drawer or in this chest. We'll glance over the papers, see if I can see any sign of Rectavio. Obviously, Irina with the armor. If anybody else has been around.
With a 23 investigation, you can tell that the place has been relatively lived in. It's relatively well kept. As you were coming up, you definitely saw a lot of dust and cobwebs and debris, water wear from just the elements raining in, because the entire side of the tower had been collapsed in, I think, from the second and third floor. But up here, even though it's nothing to write home about, it's definitely relatively well maintained. You do smell strong scent of lavender coming from the chest at the foot of the bed, and you can kind of put two and two together. If they told you there was a severed head hiding up here, that maybe that lavender kind of masking the smell, so you can assume that that severed head is in there. You see on the desk, you see a journal that the binding seems to be thicker than what there are pages inside of it, as if the pages had been torn out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is it like the lower levels are pretty ransacked or like just not really well kept, but this upper level is pretty well kept?
Yeah, for the most
And
part.
so it's like kind of protected from the elements. Is there any sign of like forced entry?
It would not appear to be so.
Okay.
Yeah, looking around, checking the windows are still all intact. Looking on the ground for any sort of boot smudge prints, anything, you don't see anything. It does not appear that there was a struggle down here.
Okay. I'll gather the journal, the armor, and the chest with the head in it on the elevator and head back down.
Okay.
While we're still waiting for Ira, since it's still been a while, Painter and I will go back and forth from bickering and then I wanna ask her, so you're from the local area. Could you tell us a little bit more about like what's in this area and just kind of get some information about the flora and fauna and other tribes and stuff?
By from this area, you mean Barovia, right? I'm not from this particular area. These are our hunting grounds. We like the woods near the lake the best.
What do you hunt? Deer? Foxes? Rabbit?
Any sort of game. If we're lucky, we get vampire or anything possessed by Strahd. Not necessarily for nourishment, but just for the joy of eliminating one of his. Let me pull up a map so I can give you some details. Not for you, but I mean for me to see the map. So she starts talking about there's some druids that have once friendly seem to have wanted more power and branching out beyond their hill, their little space south, just north of the Luna River. Steer clear of that area. Word has it they've ventured north and got themselves into the Wizard of Wines. It could be
Oh, we're
why
going
they
there next.
why they haven't made shipments recently. There's also dangerous witches to the south of Argenvostholt. You don't want to.
You're right. I don't want to. I mean, unless they're the hags. If they're hags, then we might have to.
They are in alliance with the hags, yes. Babala Saga is a dangerous, powerful woman. Be wary. And if you're in for a little adventure north of Lake Zarovich, living on Mount Baratok, there's a mage. Mad, they say. I've seen it with my own eyes, talks to himself day and night. He's hostile towards anybody that comes near, but some of the conversations he has with himself are amusing if you can stay hidden for long enough.
Well, thank you so much for letting us know.
What kind of conversations?
Talking about being powerful, but I've never seen him conjure anything more than cheap fire tricks. Talking about how he almost killed the most dangerous person of this realm. I doubt that. Nobody's come close. Just nonsensical things. I saw him make friends with a goat once. Just sitting in the mountains. Just petting it. Talking to it like it was his companion.
Goats are notoriously difficult to get along with.
Goats are for food.
They
We
have
had
a
that pet goat, didn't we?
You're known for like headbutting things, and if this guy can make a friend out of a goat, maybe he's pretty
Oh no, we ate him.
powerful. Just saying. They're stubborn. Kind of like
Very,
me.
very insightful, Panton.
About goats.
Yes.
I mean, when he was
This is
hiding
like-
from the bullies at home, he would sometimes hide out with the livestock.
Panton is like, this is the one thing I actually kind of know about, and by God, it's gonna be my shot.
I think I understand this
I'm
mage now.
dying.
If he can make a friend with goats, that's a clue as to
His
his whole
power.
persona,
He's got a lot
his,
of power.
his psyche, if you will.
Social etiquette, religion,
Mm.
general history, agriculture. Don't know anything about that. Goats? I know a lot about goats.
My guy.
Now you're gonna want to go talk to him, aren't you, Panton?
Oh, you have no idea.
The fate was sealed when goats were brought up. You know the rules. You're
Like,
you're
just
a
the
sister.
mage.
The
You should
word
know.
mad and
Mage.
mage, actually, it was way before the goat got in. The goat was
Mm.
gravy.
Not just yeah.
Mad
Not
mage and power. That's the big one.
Looking around during this conversation, you can see some of them, two of them in particular, the werewolves, going through and seeming to kind of graze their hand over some of the burn marks and starting to heal one another, bringing them closer to their prior state.
Not
before
not
they
being
crossed.
scorched. You mean
Yes.
not being scorched, right, DM?
Yeah.
You mean not being utterly fucking burned.
Yeah, absolutely.
How'd you drop that spell?
Let them remember.
But Kirill approaches as you're having this conversation, and he says, I don't think we're going to find anything here. I think we need to go. There's nothing
I make
for
it
us
down
here.
before they.
Yeah, you'd make it down about this time.
All right, my friend. If you'd like to, did you look in the wagon yet?
I told you I have no need for the wagon. I smelled and I did not smell her. She is the only thing that I'm here for. And even
But
then,
you
I
said
could
you'd
care
seen
less.
her travel with this wagon.
I have. But
Aren't
she
you
is not in
curious
the
as to
wagon.
what's- Sure, but you could find something inside that might let you know where she's gone. Or are you afraid of the sign that says "Keep out"?
I am not afraid.
Antagonizing the werewolf, I see.
Remain confused then. If you could do us one favor before you go. Did you either of you recognize who the head belonged to? And then also, if you could, there's a friend of ours we're looking for. This armor belonged to her. It was very precious to her, so it's strange that she left it.
So you bring out this chest with the head, and you just pop it open like you're proposing to the werewolf, and show him the head, and like, do you know who this guy is?
Well, I asked.
Weirdest to know
I'm
my
asking. No, I'm leaving the chest closed.
Oh, okay.
And I'm asking my compatriots
Oh,
if they had recognized it at all. And
Nope.
maybe it'll be helpful to the werewolves to see who it is. But because that was kept there.
never.
so you're not
I've
talking to
never
Carol
seen
at
it.
this point. You're talking to
No,
your
I am.
friends.
I mean,
okay.
well, yeah. I mean, I did. Like, I'm asking them. I'm asking the party if they recognize the head at all.
It
And
was
then
a
it might be of
male
interest
head,
to them.
right?
Yes, it was.
So I'm pretty certain it's not this Esmeralda unless she's a guy.
So you're asking if we recognize whose head this is?
I mean, we've been around the Ostani, more so Panton,
Right.
Honora, and Anderson.
I'll take a peek at
Or-
the head and see if I recognize it.
Yeah.
You don't.
Oh, is it Gregory?
I
I doubt it.
and then I will step away.
The ultimate
Yeah, you
twist.
could. There's no chance any of you know who this is. You have definitely never been introduced to the character, nor have any of your backstories ever been remotely close to entwined with it. So, you can roll a check if you want to see if you might think you know who it is.
Nope.
With like false confidence.
Yes.
I
I just
had a
think
drink
it's.
with this guy.
I just think it's the case of where you show it, and Asteria is just like, that is the most ghastly thing you have done ever since I have met you. I've never seen this person before in my life whatsoever.
I mean, I don't. I have the chest. I haven't opened it, and like, you guys really want me to like take the head out
You're-
and like brandish it around. And...
If you're gonna be like asking us if we know it, then just bring it out, show people. Like it's like, have
I mean,
you
Panton
seen?
was able to take a peek. We can take
Show
turns.
them the
and-
head.
What's in the box?
Yeah, I mean, we might well just throw
More
it out.
importantly, I would like him to use his heightened senses of smell to
Here's small question.
sniff the armor and see if he can pick up a scent as to like, is this person around here? Do you have like a trail maybe that they left by?
I'm still stuck on the reason why you have a head with you.
It was
It's
up
not-
the stairs.
Bagman, it is not my head. The head was upstairs, as
Okay.
others have already said. It's a very strange thing to find a head in a tower.
I thought you were just carrying that around the whole fucking time.
No,
that-
that's what I'm saying. I left it in the
Okay,
chest.
okay.
as
Yeah,
word,
they
word,
found
word.
it. They
It's in
found
the
it the
street.
last session.
My fault. Man.
I
Okay, weird,
Um,
but not as weird.
After all this, Ira takes the head out and just like volleyball spikes it in your direction.
There's no satisfying
actually,
rubber
not actually,
ping. There's just
yeah.
a wet smack.
Yeah.
If there's
Uh.
even still fucking blood in there. It's true.
And a burst of lavender. No. Yeah, so I offer the armor to
Zulika steps in front. If we are going to do something for you, you must promise to assist and do something for us.
Well, that'll depend on what it is you want us to do.
I think it's only fair that we're informed as to the nature of the favor you're asking.
I think it's pretty clear. We need help getting my husband.
You said
Sure.
he's in Ravenloft?
Yes.
Help towards this goal could take many forms. You smelling the armor and giving us a direction is not helping us find our friend herself. I've already offered to your friend, the wagon could be a clue as to where this Esmeralda is. If you're too afraid to open it, perhaps I could try.
I'm not afraid to open it. I simply have no need. What is it that you don't understand?
What is it that you don't understand? There could be a clue inside as to her whereabouts.
He grabs a hold of the armor and he buries his face into the leather that coats the inside of it to where it's not, just cold steel against the skin. And he breathes in deep, and you can see his eyes kind of roll into the back of his head as he kind of raises it, sniffing the air. And as he comes back to, eyes open wide, starts walking, just without saying a word, starts walking towards the water. Kind of moving his head back and forth as he does so. Turns his head and looks. I smell her. But I also smell someone very familiar to me. Strahd was here.
You're gonna hear a very unladylike shit from Honora.
Shit!
Ira just sighs.
The smells are so intertwined. I don't know where they went, but I do know that they were together. And they're either at the bottom of this lake or they crossed it.
Oh, hell, not again.
No other scent of a... Octavio's a half-elf, right?
Yes.
Or is he... Yeah. Any scent of a half-elf?
I've never met this half-elf.
Huh.
I don't have anything of his to know.
Thank you.
And Zulika kind of looks at you with these, "Are you satisfied now?" type of eyes.
Would you like me to open the wagon for you? I'm very satisfied, thank you.
I mean,
Wait.
the best we can do is that if we end up in Ravenloft, we can look for your partner. I just don't think we're ready to go to Ravenloft yet. There's
Sounds like
something-
our friends might be in the same place, but you have helped us. And I'm
Yes,
willing
so
to
if
return the
if
favor.
we happen to be in a position to be able to help or save your husband, I think that we can say, with good faith, that we'd go out of our way to do it.
My friend is very kind. I will return the favor now if you'd like, and see if I can find where this Esmeralda is for you.
He kind of grunts and I suppose it couldn't hurt. And he steps out of the way.
Perhaps. What if it explodes when I open it? Everyone stand back, please. I've had not the best luck with wagons lately.
Warlocks.
And then I would like to use Mage Hand and my Thieves' Tools to, at a distance, try to pick the lock of the wagon.
How far?
I'll go the max. Oh, how far is my
30
Mage
feet.
Hand? Yeah, isn't there at a point where it becomes 60 feet, or is that... I'm
I
mistaking
don't know.
that probably
It
was
might
something
be a
else.
rogue thing.
Arcade Trickster has a thing for it. I forget what level. I might be remembering wrong,
I'm
though.
not sure if it... It
You
hasn't
might-
come online
character
yet.
sheet.
You might
I
have
know,
it
I know.
at this
I'm
level.
looking. Okay, it's still 30 feet. Yeah, so I guess 30 feet.
I think you get advantage or something.
Is that right?
Your mage hand is better than standard mage hand.
Actually, it just
something.
unlocks for you. I just checked it. It just unlocks for you. I don't.
Oh, thanks.
I can't tell if you're being serious or not.
He's not being serious.
It's kind of weird. You just disregard locks now. It's. Whew. Why does
I didn't
it-
take
why
a
does
knock
it
spell,
exist?
sorry.
I can make the hand invisible. I can stow objects, retrieve, and I can use thieves' tools.
Okay.
So I guess you know what? I'll have everybody stand back, and then I'll go like this, and in the meantime, it's like I'm gonna concentrate, and I'm gonna invisibly use my thieves' tools to try to unlock the lock.
I need
Open.
everybody to dictate whether or not they are heeding his warning as to whether or not they move back.
I think
I'm
Asterius.
35 feet back.
Oh yeah.
I think Asterius, just in general, has just kind of been on the sidelines for all these conversations. So he's probably already have been like a safe distance away or a healthy distance away.
Yeah, if Anderson
Kind
is
of
not
reliable.
what he feels to be a safe distance, he would get back a little further.
The
Okay.
very mention of possible explosion, Temperance is like, yep, nope. Stand back.
I don't need to.
The last time I tried to open a wagon, a ferocious saber-toothed tiger nearly took my life.
Fluffy
Um,
over there?
Get out, buddy.
No.
Okay. I am. Oh, finally! Wow, that was actually pretty good.
I was really nervous there for you.
I
buddy.
know I've infamously
I
never roll well on.
was
sleight of hand.
thinking that was going to be an unmitigated disaster.
You,
And it
you
wasn't.
were right thinking that. Odds were not in his favor with a +7 even.
I think I've only
Absolutely
rolled high once this entire campaign on a thieves' tool check.
Yeah, with the 19, the lock that holds the handle closed, you hear a and it just, the hasp opens up and it's just kind of dangling there. You'd have to pull it off.
I'll do so with the mage hand.
Okay. But as far as you're aware, the door is it's free to open.
Behold. This music is just making me want to be like the most grandiose. Like,
It sounds like it's.
I'm waiting for you to open the door and have it actually explode.
It sounds like it's to a murder mystery. Like you're
Yeah,
about to
yeah.
reveal like a fucking hidden compartment where the real body was all along.
Yeah.
The head was just
Waiting for
merely a
John to go
decoy.
home.
Open the door, Ira.
Do it.
Very well, I'll open the door from a safe distance of 30 feet. With invisible mage hand, I'll like reach my hand out and kind of like strain my eyes and open.
So you turned the wagon invisible, or not the wagon, but the mage hand invisible. So these lockpicks
The
are
mage
just...
hand has been invisible. I've been doing this whole kind of performance.
Okay.
While I pick the lock and then open the door. Oh no.
Oops.
So I take 5 10-foot poles and I tape them together and I open the door.
Oh wait, sorry, I should have been. Is that far enough?
What
The
the
wagon,
That's a lot of
the
D10s,
wagon explodes.
John.
As you open, you can audibly hear a loud twing as you hear immediately after shattered glass as alchemist fire engulfs the wagon, causing several chain reactions of other alchemist fire to just shrapnel of wood of the wagon just explodes, shattering in all areas. If everybody is 30 feet or more than 30 feet away, except for Ira, because his mage hand range is 30 feet, and 30 feet is the exact range of the spell, you're
I was
going
35 feet away on purpose.
you're going
I'm around the building. Does that count for anything?
It's hard for me to say because this map isn't very conducive to like saying that you're far away. But when I asked everybody, I assumed that you were all standing
Back.
past the 30, further away than Ira was.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, my plan is like, hey, around the corner of the building, in case something happens, I just whoop, get the hell out of the way.
I'm just laughing over the mental image of this situation because Ira's like, behold, the.
I was waiting for the large boom to come out of your mouth, honestly. John.
So am I close enough to take that damage?
Yeah, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me.
You should have evasion.
Oh, a
though.
Constitution saving throw?
Yeah.
Not dexterity?
No.
That I'm really
Oh.
good at? Rats.
Yikes.
And there
Oh.
come the low rolls.
I'm
You
sorry,
fail.
buddy.
Well,
You
Ira's dead,
take the
guys.
full 54 points of damage.
Ah.
Well, I am down.
I'm gonna have to waste a spell slot on you. All right.
Ways. I will be horrified, obviously, rush to Ira's aid, and then be like, well, at least she can't get her shit.
I feel like it's this case of for Asterius, it's like watching a kid play with the stove in a way. He kind of like sighs after a moment before walking over.
I'm fumbling in my my bag looking for another healing vial.
I was
while
just
you're
gonna
doing
say, Asterius just not even with his hands. He just puts his foot on your shoulder and casts Cure Wounds. Just a first level Cure Wounds.
Okay.
All right.
You get 12 back.
Nice roll.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Oh,
that was
oh,
max. That was
oh,
max.
thank you. Thank you so much for taking care of him.
Just 1 second.
Then why did you open it?
Why would it explode? Ridiculous.
Typically, people don't want their things to be found.
But they don't want them to be exploded if they are. Oh,
Who
my
traps
God.
a carriage with arguably 10 flasks of alchemist's fire?
Think about it this
Wagons.
way. If
I know.
For
if you
sake
were
of
trying to take out, you know, some people, and they were hunting you, it's kind of a good idea.
Zulika runs up to Anderson, grabs you by the arm. I know we said we're not around here. If you need help, just northwest of this lake, find us. I'll help you with your issue. But you must promise me something in return, that you will, regardless of what your friends say, you will help us. Forget my husband.
Well, let's put it this way. Strahd's gonna die. I'm gonna
And with
take his
that-
head as a trophy.
She nods, and all of the werewolves just out, just dash far away from the situation. Like that would have happened simultaneous. The explosion's happening, they see it, they're freaked out, they've had enough of this shit. As you're resurrected, or as you're casting Cure Wounds on Ira, laying dead on the ground, and everybody's kind of gathered around, she runs up, grabs you. No time for small talk, just tells you, we're northwest of this in a cave. Find me if you need me. And then they all book.
Oh,
That reminds me of a stand-up set I tried to do in Waterdeep.
Why
But
would
it-
you have explosions?
Did you explode as well?
No, the audience left. What?
Did you hit
all
your
of our friends
head?
just
You're not
left.
the Ira that we know.
What?
Oh my god, why did you mess with the wagon? Ugh.
They did us a favor. I was trying to do them a favor. I don't know why you were offering to run into Ravenloft and.
I wasn't offering to
Ah,
run it. I said if we
don't yell
happened
at
to
me.
be there.
Okay, hey guys.
Ugh.
All the werewolves are gone now. So
How are my
Ira,
clothes? How's my coat?
It's pretty singed.
Pretty awful.
Yeah,
you did a
it's
pretty
it's
terrible
as
job
if
of that.
somebody had just taken some acid and flicked it at you. Like there are so many different burn marks, and some of them just like still eating away at your coat.
Not to mention, you were right at the explosion, essentially. So that shockwave probably threw your hair back, like full fucking mad scientist look, basically. I imagine.
I'm gonna
Like,
head over to Ira and try
Anderson?
to
Thank you,
dissipate a lot of
priest.
the smell off of him.
you're welcome. This will teach you not to
Anderson,
play around with
I
things that
didn't
might
like
explode.
them.
You didn't know it was good. Don't lecture me like you knew it was going to explode.
It was a cabin, not cabin. It was a wagon.
Yes, it was a wagon. The last one had a
Next to-
saber-toothed tiger. Oh yeah, so the next wagon I'm going to open is going to explode. Explain
a
that
wagon.
logical leap to me.
Just the
Next
humans are
to
arguing.
a
Thought it was
tower
perfect
that has been
arguing.
shown to mess with magical capabilities.
Yeah, if
And
anything.
then-
Are all
Yeah,
werewolves
maybe I
like
should have
that?
brought the wagon close to the tower and then
Oh,
opened it.
no. Most
It
of them
was
are ghosts.
alchemist fire. That wouldn't have stopped it.
I think it
I-
was
I feel-
magically
Humans
rigged,
from
though.
arguing. You know
I looked at
humans.
it with the.
I feel bad. I'm talking to Anderson, so I
know.
feel bad for I'm kind of waving you off, Bandit. I feel
I know. I'm
bad
already talking to Temperance
for-
because you're ignoring me.
for her husband and all, but I think she eats people.
For their sake, I hope they don't.
You got a 20 on that insight check. Are you saying that because like I had relayed that you weren't the type of prey that they were looking for, that they hunted animals in the woods?
And vampires.
And vampires. Okay.
They
Yeah.
hunted for fun, so
Okay.
I mean that's
All
what
right.
I'm
I
going
wanted
off
to
of.
make sure that you
Killing
were
for
relaying correct information. If you okay, you're good.
Maybe Nora's a sneaky liar, though. Yeah.
Maybe Nora's a vampire and you guys don't know.
Surprise!
That would be a
Spooky.
Shyamalan twist, for sure.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, it makes no sense.
Nora was Strahd the whole time.
But it's so surprising.
Have you ever seen the two of them together?
Hey, Drew. Yes, actually, they have.
A few times.
Yeah.
I thought it was incredibly suspicious that every time Strahd showed up, Lenora would just play with this odd RC remote control fucking toy. I found it completely weird.
All right. Anyways, nice breakup there. But anyways, Panton, I think you were saying something about you were talking to Temperance. What were you talking about?
Oh, I was
Anything in particular?
Asking her, how do you make humans stop arguing with each other?
Oh.
I mean, from the two people that argue the most. One of the two people that argue the most.
Find that exploding them and burning them works, but that doesn't seem like an appropriate solution here.
Jesus.
No, probably not.
Temperance say that?
We kind of need them still.
Yeah.
Damn, Temperance is just like, I just murdered him, but you know, that's
We
just
kind of
me.
still need them a little bit. So
I would
John,
recommend it, but that's what I've
Apparently,
done.
we're goofy tonight.
I can see that.
we put
Well,
a little explosion.
I
between
tried
them and
already,
maybe-
but I only got myself, so. Hey.
Guys, everyone stop. Calm down. Ira, are you okay?
No. I'm alive. I'm not okay.
Well,
Okay,
Strahd, that means he's okay.
Sorry, wrong question. Will you live?
Priest, am I going to make it?
Can you stand up?
I stand up.
Can you walk?
I look at my clothes. In this outfit,
He's going to be fine.
Okay, so the nice wolf lady gave a little bit of information. I know we were here to check on Irina, and apparently she has gone. Strahd has caught her, which is really bad news.
Is it?
But we,
Do you not remember what happened last time?
What happened last time? What do you mean?
Where we all got into a little fight with Strahd last time.
Well, yes, because we were trying to take the love of his life away. I mean, I don't think he's going to
I
hurt
just
her.
kind of want to know how
but she
Strahd knew
doesn't
she
want to
was
be
here at
there.
this point.
True, but I don't think he's going to hurt her. It's not. I've obviously for Ismark, our friend, it would be troubling news, but we can't necessarily go back to Valaki right now.
No,
Perhaps
I'm
we have
not
some
suggesting
time.
that. Well, I'm hoping that we have some time. When somebody wants something as bad as he wanted her, it's just scary. And I'm really scared for what's gonna happen now that he has her.
Well, perhaps he'll be distracted for a bit.
Okay.
Speaking
But
of
we are definitely.
distractions, as you're all talking amongst yourselves, eventually, you hear the galloping of a horse striding across that same landmass, that kind of the land bridge that's coming out towards the tower.
Why is this place
Looking
so
out,
popular?
I mean, look at the view.
you don't necessarily see the top of a rider. You can only see legs hanging off the side. As it gets closer, you can eventually see that the person riding is actually fallen over, barely hanging on, wearing hold on a second.
Anderson, catch them.
I thought for a second there you were giving us a headless rider of some sort. That would have been interesting.
No.
Happy Halloween, everybody!
Spooky
Yeah,
horror.
I was gonna say I don't
Merry
have
Christmas.
another wall of fire spell, so
I do.
Let's not do that to somebody we
Wearing
don't
Let's
know.
not do that, but I do.
a dark tan overcoat draped down the side. You can see a polished rapier at the very end, still dripping with blood. And as they get closer, you can see the familiar half-elven face of Rictavio.
Oh dear.
Oh, hell.
Riding back. And as he gets
There he
closer,
is.
Serious, you got more of that healing stuff?
he gets himself off and just looking over in your direction, just doesn't even have the energy to put up any sort of protest. Hops off, recognizing a couple of you. I'm sorry, I could not save her. I tried everything that I could.
What happened?
We were out in the yard. We were just taking in the air, talking about life. He came out of nowhere, flew in. He snatched her up. I protested, really I did. I chased him.
Did he say anything?
Now she would be his, that is all I remember. Esmeralda helped me too.
Her name keeps popping up. Who is this Esmeralda?
I'm sorry. You know, my brain is a little foggy.
Are you alright? Do you need to lie down?
We have not been properly introduced. You know me as Rictavio, but that is not my real name.
Are you Esmeralda?
No, I'm...
I...
My name is Rudolph van Richten. Anderson, Give
Oh,
me
yeah.
a history check with,
This-
or history or religion, one of the two. I'll even say go ahead and roll it with advantage due to your, the nature of your profession.
All right.
Yeah. As soon as he says Rudolf van Richten, you immediately know that he is an incredibly famous vampire hunter. Like, books of lore outside of Barovia know of him. He disappeared and has been kind of unheard of outside of Barovia for several years.
We met a motherfucking Belmont.
Wait, you're the Van Richten?
What's a Van Richten?
The last thing that I want to do before my time comes is I want to slay the most powerful vampire that has ever lived. And I could find no greater challenge than Strahd von Zarovich, but I fear sometimes that he is even too powerful for me.
Of course, I was about to say, I can't believe you ran after him. Even
I was entrusted.
Mordenkainen couldn't face him.
I was entrusted. There's something that I have that Mordenkainen does not. I have been researching him, laying low here in Barovia for several years now. Staking out. I've
Well, let us help you.
been inside his castle more times than I can count. Stayed in his library undetected for extended periods of time. Really, when he must sleep, the castle's quite dormant.
When he must sleep.
Yes, years and years of hibernation. Only recently has he come awake again. That is why I've had to take up the guise of Rictavio, the traveling circus.
Well, here,
Let us help you.
get off the wagon. Holy man, can you help him out a little bit?
I'll be fine. And he looks over and sees the grass on fire and Esmeralda's wagon just disintegrated. He just closes his eyes and just looks over in all of your general directions. Can you not just read? It said
It
keep out. It is not
the
yours.
werewolf.
Apparently, your friend pissed off some werewolves. They did us a favor. I tried to do one for them. But they're okay. I'm not okay. But I'm alive.
You'll be fine.
Esmeralda will not be happy, but who knows if she's going to live long enough to be mad about it.
Okay,
I
who
came
is
back too
Esmeralda?
wounded. She's my protege of sorts. I've been training her for quite some time now. She exiled basically from Vistani, and she followed me, found out who I really was. I took her under my wing, decided that I would make her more dangerous than what she already was.
How does that have to do with the werewolves?
I have no idea what it is that they were after.
They
Apparently
kept
your protege betrayed them is the word they used.
They claim she works with Strahd.
One of their own is captured.
I can
They seek
assure you
vengeance
that
on Esmeralda and freedom for their friend.
she does not work for the Devil's Strahd. If anything, if any betrayal ever happened, it would have been self-preservation. I think anyone here can agree that we do a lot of things to save our own selves, even things that we would regret.
Speaking of self-preservation, is that item still intact on my person? I would keep it in a very safe place.
the head.
Oh, wait. Message me. I
Okay.
might not. Oh, yes,
You'll know,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is
Okay.
still intact. I mean, you don't know until you go to look.
Well, when
but-
he says that, Ira kind of shuffles for
Yeah,
that.
yeah, reaching kind of into your pouch wherever you kept it in the chest pocket or something. The glass is much thicker than that. It wouldn't be susceptible to something
Okay.
like that. I don't know what we can do now. If he has her in his castle, if he made it that far, or even if that's where he's going, I have no idea. I don't know what I'm going to tell Ismark. I don't believe that, I know this is hardly the time for introductions, but I don't believe that I've met either of you two yet. Seem to be new to the town, and he looks over in your direction, Temperance. I've been in Volaki for quite some time, staying at the Blue Water Inn, but...
She's been here longer than us, apparently.
And yet I have not
Try to
seen
keep
her
a low
around
profile.
town.
That's by design. I try not to let people notice me normally. Temperance, it's nice to meet you, although I regret that it's in these circumstances.
Rudolph. That's my preferred name. And then you, sir, you look like a formidable foe. What is your name?
You can call me Asterius.
Asterius.
Asterius Ravenna.
A formidable friend.
Formidable friend. I was speaking more for whoever gets in his way.
Sure.
I don't like to resort to such means, but if need be.
He walks
I'm
back
okay.
over to the horse and lifts up the flap of one of the rear leather satchels and pulls out a tall, clear bottle with some amber-colored liquid. And he just flops down into the grass. And he takes a swig. And he kind of pulls up his coat, and you can see large, deep claw marks into his leg. And he just takes a swig of the alcohol and pours it on. And then presses down onto it.
Ooh.
Okay,
And you
so
can see
Nora's
him
gonna
grimace.
start pacing in front of him and be like, okay, so if you've been studying him, you know what his weaknesses are. You need to share this with us so that we can help you.
There's lots of fabled items, whether it be weapons or trinkets, that are of great use when fighting Strahd.
And these are?
Long fabled sun sword. After having spoken with Madame Eva several times, it appears that she... And he looks around. How many of you have Taroka cards on you?
I've got mine in Pantons, and I'll pull them out.
Anderson just pulls his out.
I don't know if she told you or not, but each of those cards are clues to make it to those items.
She did, but can she be trusted? You said your own protege left the fold of the Vistani.
Or was exiled, is I believe what it was.
With any group of people, yourselves included, not all are good and not all are bad. The Vistani are definitely divided into two separate camps. Those who work with and for Strahd, and a select few that work against him.
So we're set up as both playthings and saviors by their hand.
Playthings to some, saviors to others. Not saviors to them, they're free to come and go as they please. I've had them escort me out on certain occasions.
We have these
Okay.
clues.
Um,
And apparently we're not the first group to come through here. You've been around for any of the others?
Not many of late. Just a few. Much weaker. They didn't. There was one group that never made it out of Barovia. There was another group that didn't make it past the bone grinder. The hags saw to that.
you're telling us that these cards and this reading that Ava gave us are clues. And so, I mean, what does it mean? She told us that this card means that we go to the Wizards of Wines.
It is. Magic is a funny thing. Each one of those items are very powerful magic items. It's the holy symbol of Ravenkind. A magical amulet that, legend has it, can only be attuned by someone who is a holy nature. All of these items have properties, radiate sunlight. That's obviously, doesn't take a genius to know that that's one of vampire's greatest weaknesses. One thing that people would be surprised to know is that
But these clues make no sense. Like, who's the mother? Ava told us to find the mother, but, like, what does that mean?
Really? You didn't get that part? The mother is his mother.
Right, but she's dead.
So you go to her tomb, which Panton said he saw in the basement of the castle. That was the other place that I asked him to investigate, but apparently, that didn't go so well.
the
But we found
tombs
a book.
are protected by magical barriers. I've been down there myself. I, unfortunately, am not small enough to climb behind the statue. There was a gap. I didn't have anything small enough to get behind there, but there's statues on either side with a magical barrier penetrating across, preventing anyone going through, but...
How big's the
He's
gap?
small enough?
Absolutely, he would definitely be small enough to make it through.
So he could have made it through if he had really applied himself and tried.
I don't like the
We
sound
didn't
of you
have
being
this
used as
information,
bait.
Ira. I mean, even I wouldn't have known.
I'm joking. I'm sure
Not
it
a
was a
fan.
stressful situation.
Not a fan. Not a fan. Just letting you guys know right now.
One thing that
You sure blow a lot of air for not being a fan, but continue.
common people don't know about vampires is that they are also harmed by running water. It's hard to find it around these parts. But
Haven't
it
we
does.
seen him out in the rain?
The rain is different. It doesn't work that way. It's more
So like a river.
river,
Okay, then-
waterfall.
Okay, that's good to know. We can maybe lure him somehow.
I mean, I'm sure he's aware of this. It would more be a place for us to keep safe, perhaps.
Maybe. Who's the man that he envied above all? Would it be his brother?
His brother.
Indeed. The lore is such a cursed nature with this one. Study him long enough and you'll eventually find empathy for the creature that he turned out to be.
Did
In
he
love
kill
with a
him?
woman. Yes, that is what some say triggered the curse.
He
Okay,
killed him and his.
You know where
all
his
of them.
tomb is.
Yes. Yes, I've spent countless hours inside his castle.
So his brother is buried inside his castle as well?
Yes, the entire family is buried in the crypts.
That's kind of gross. Murdered them all and then buried them.
Regardless, he still had, after reading journals and things, after being in there, he's been alive for hundreds and hundreds of years. He's had lots of time to speculate, self-reflect. He
He
is a
still
man
loves
of
her.
deep regret. He loves his family.
Hmm.
He still has a certain hatred towards his brother, but he ultimately knows that he did do wrong. It doesn't stop him from loving who he loves.
Yes, but if it was true love, then he wouldn't want to possess against her will.
I am not one to judge of that nature, but
I hate to interrupt this talk, but for me personally, the time of empathy has gone and passed. I have a question though about Argynvostholt.
I haven't
I was
ventured there
told
much myself, but I can be... go ahead, ask your question.
I was told that, at least from the rumors I heard, or anything else involving that, that there was a power there, or something that could help defeat Strahd.
Yes, I have seen the magnificent skull of the dragon that was once Argynvost. Order of the Silver Dragon. He was the Silver Dragon that they worshipped. His skull is in the subfloors of Strahd's castle as well. There's a banquet hall right across from the cellars where the wine is stored. That's where his skull hangs. I had talked to the people at Argynvostholt, revenants, ghosts. No one alive there, I can assure you of that. But speaking to the ghost of Argynvost, if his skull can be returned to Argynvostholt, it will grant a powerful boon indeed. Once, from what I've read, there used to be a powerful light that spanned out from the beacon of the tallest tower.
So, 3 of the 4 things we need are in Ravenloft. That's bad news. That's bad news. I don't like that.
Is there a way to get into Ravenloft without Strahd knowing?
Yes. Yes, there is. There's several different entrances. You could try to scale the building. You could try...
You've done that. What did you do to get there?
I walked in the front gates.
But that's when he was sleeping, and he's not
That's when
sleeping
he was
now.
sleeping, indeed. Some of the magic that he harnesses the castle with, it's subdued while he is asleep.
How often? When do you think the next time he'll sleep is? Probably, I'm guessing, not anytime soon. He has servants too. Are they not awake when?
As far as I can tell, and typically the only reason why he has servants there is when he's awake. When he is asleep, he has no need for them.
And his wives?
His wives, they go into deep slumber as well. As I said, the castle is pretty much free roam when he goes to sleep, as far as I can tell. His sleep pattern seems to align with the cycles of life and death. It's as if his soul can sense when hers is reborn. I have not witnessed any of this myself, just off of second-hand accounts from villagers, from journals that I had found in his library, in the burgomaster's mansion in Vallaki. But that is why I think that here recently he is awoke.
Guys, we're not going to accomplish anything sitting around here.
What are you talking about? I feel like we've gotten so many answers just standing and talking to our friend here.
And he takes another large swig of the amber liquid. You can see
We're
him
on the
even
trail
kind
for
of
the other.
grimace a little bit just at the taste.
We're on the trail for the other two. 3?
Sorry, other 2, 3, what?
Cards.
Booze. 5 of us came in, as you recall.
I mean,
The
only
other
4 of
two,
us remain.
Yes, but been bolstered a bit.
I've been around a little bit. Read them to me. Let me see if I know if I can help you.
Speak a cast of one contain the finest wine, of which not a drop remains. Was one of them.
That's the one that.
I think that we've actually solved that one, and
Yes.
I'll pull out the book that we found at Strahd's.
Ah, yes. I've spent some time ciphering this myself. The first few chapters were easy, but I never did finish it. I found it to be some of the information, things that I already knew, but found it to not be as worth my time as some of the other things that I was searching for.
It seems weird that Ava would send us on a waste
I
of
don't
time.
understand why one of the clues just wasn't you.
Yeah, you've been a wealth of knowledge. Are you the werewolf that holds this secret hatred for the enemy?
Do I look like a werewolf to you?
I mean, not right now, but neither does
That
Anderson.
I was going to look at
What
Anderson
color
and
are
like
his
see
eyes?
his reaction.
What'd you say, Anderson?
What color are his eyes, just for reference?
They're like a blue-green.
Okay. Anderson looks back. He's like, "Nah, he's good."
That's the other clue, is we're looking for a werewolf. We just met some. Oh shit!
I was gonna say, as soon as you said that, internally, I just kind of had an shit. Whoops.
I mean, we're not on their bad side yet. Maybe we
Wait,
can
whose
go
is
back.
that?
You guys might not be
Anderson's.
on their bad side. I burned over half of them with a wall of fire.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
I just took a bomb for them, all to help. Just help.
You took
them
a
out.
bullet for them in the war, bro. Like, that's how
Yeah.
you know.
There was one to do with werewolves.
Yeah.
Anderson pulls out like his like card.
I just didn't think we'd. Go ahead, read it.
Well, it's what I scribbled down when Ava said it. Yeah, it's werewolf holds the secret hatred for your enemy. Use her hatred to your advantage. Okay, so it's not you.
Yes, I am quite clearly a man.
What was it? What was her name? Oh, I'm so
Zulika?
Zulika. Yes.
Yeah,
Jeez.
maybe she was the clue.
Well,
you
at
would
least she's
would
not dead.
remember that there were other women, kind of an equal mix of men and women among the werewolves that were standing at the tower with you all.
I never. Okay.
None other than Zulika.
But yes,
Voiced
none
a
of the other ones
particular
actually had a
hatred.
name or approached you or anything.
Or went out of
Has
wolf
been
form.
locked up by Strahd himself, and
Yeah, I mean, she's
therefore
got a personal vendetta against Strahd, so it's not really a secret hatred. It seems like a very obvious
personal
hatred.
I mean,
I feel like that's just being pedantic at that point. Like, I'll just be real.
I'm almost certain she's not it, but still.
I mean, they could have just been a scouting force. Maybe there's a queen of the werewolves that is more
like
powerful. And
Zulika.
Okay,
No?
I feel like we're being the lawyers in a fortune teller's tent right now. Like, you're missing the point. Like,
He missed that one. That's great.
Well,
and then
It
And
seems
now
you're
we're on
really
to the
like
Wizard of
the man
Wines.
that he indeed above all.
For the
I'm
Sun Sword.
assuming that's his brother, and that's where he hangs out a lot.
what?
Oh, I'm just reading my card.
Yes, yours is about the tomb, correct?
Yeah, probably his brother's tomb. That's where Strahd likes to hang out.
Okay. Yeah, so I think Wizards of Wines is our safest bet, and then everything else is in Ravenloft except for the werewolves. But they said they don't live in this area, so we can't. We have to find them too.
What doesn't live in this area?
The werewolves. They told me they
Oh.
don't live around here.
Yeah. As you guys are having this conversation, you hear a ruckus from your old carriage. I know, another distraction. Something
It's just
creeping
a
in from
kitty
the...
excited to see his master.
Yeah, and that's what it is. The armored... Oh,
Sabertooth?
shit. Yeah, armored Sabertooth. Thank you. I couldn't remember the actual cat. Sabertooth eventually catches whiff of his master's scent and comes running and immediately just starts licking up and down, like arms, doesn't matter, just face, just really tending to his master.
We brought you your cat.
In your cart.
And your
And
cart.
And your horse.
he's like, oh, stop, please. Not right now, sorry.
I'm being cool. I'm being cool.
Right?
I'll have to be honest. I didn't expect a Sabretooth to be as well socialized as that one.
He only attacks Vistani. So
Wow.
you have
You
nothing
don't like
to...
them either? I thought you were friends with them.
Only certain ones. Ones that have ideals that align with my own. I'd want to see Strahd vanquished from this plane.
Do you know of Gregory?
You see him kind of snarl. I don't mess with him. He does not bother me. I do not bother him. He's not a vampire. I don't know what he is really anymore.
Well, he's about
This
to be
why you
dead,
keep
but
a
that's beside
head
the point.
in your tower?
And hold on a second, let me... Oh, Jan. Yes, he had that one coming to him. Yes, I did keep the head. It was partially to help train.
What did he have coming? The decapitation or the lavender?
Oh, dead bodies can stink. I had to oil him up, and he's not... He can still talk if I make him.
What?
And so, he looks over and he sees the familiar chest, and he just kind of, like, motions and waves his hand.
Oh.
Like
Okay.
he wants somebody to bring it to him.
I think I, as the player, know what he's about to do. Do I have to make a check on Asterius? Would you say? Or being a man of the cloth, would he be aware of those kinds of methods?
Like, you have... it's a spell that you have access to. You probably don't have it.
Yeah. I don't have it prepared.
Yeah, but you have access
don't.
to it. Yes,
Yeah.
you would know what he's about to do then. You're
Cool,
familiar with
then
it.
I think knowing what he's about to do, he kicks over the kind... is it scorched? I don't know. Just the chest with the head in it. Like,
would've
no,
moved it.
probably not. Yeah, I think all the belongings probably would have
Yeah.
been moved as well.
If everybody maintained a safe distance, I feel like we would have also taken the time to...
Move the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you kick the box over, he lifts up the lid, and he you see him moving his hands and muttering some words, and eventually holding the head by his hair. You see the eyes pop open.
Yeah.
And just kind of looking around. Who slayed you? Tell them all. And he just says, "You did." It's like, is there anything else that you want to know from this talking head?
Partner, you gotta show me how to do that one of these days.
Morbid, Anderson. I mean, what information would we want to know? How to kill Strahd, how to get out of Barovia. Those are things that he's not gonna know or tell us.
Realistically, I've gained a lot of information from him and the things that he knows as a Vistani, having worked for Strahd. He was in his castle, wandering around when I first entered in. I slayed him, and then I decided to keep him, to gather information for what he knows. Only being able to ask him questions every 10 days takes some time.
I've recently.
Are you raising your
studying.
hand in character, or you asking DM for your permission to...
In character.
Okay. He looks over to you. Yes.
Wait, Panton, what's your... We have to think about this because I've heard of some magics that you only get you get a limited amount of questions, right?
I'm not asking head per se. I'm asking.
Okay.
He did
Everybody.
also just
Proceed,
say
Panton.
three. He also did just say 3 questions.
Have you asked him if there's anything or anyone in particular that Strahd fears the most?
Wait, I know this answer already.
His
I think.
brother?
No.
Not envies, fears.
The mage.
Why
A
would he
goat mage?
fear the goat mage?
Don't ask it.
Not asking. I'm asking you. Why would he fear the goat mage?
I mean, what-
I mean, I want to meet the goat mage, but
Outside of Irina, what's his biggest weakness?
You all do know this is not a end-all be-all. He could wait 10 days, and then we could just ask it again.
Asterius, we don't want to be here for another 10
10 days is about 10 years. It feels like in this place.
Thinking back on it, I think you guys have been here, like, just shy of 10 days. Like, it's really
Right.
close. Like,
Wait, really?
yeah.
Yeah.
No way.
The amount of times
Yeah.
that you guys have benefited from a long rest, I was trying to tally it, going back and looking at
About
the
2
videos.
weeks, yeah.
Yeah,
I thought it'd been over 2 weeks. I knew it hadn't been like that long, but there's no way it hasn't been 2 weeks.
I mean, think about it. It was only like, I think it was only like 4 days from the time that you entered to the time that you got to Balaki.
Oof.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're really new to this area.
oh, really new.
I feel like I've been here a year at least.
Right.
Time
Yeah,
does flow differently here.
So, have you asked him if he knows who Strahd, or knows who or what Strahd fears the most?
You have to
What
be
would be
very
helpful for you?
careful with the way that you ask questions.
Indeed.
I mean, I'm not terribly smart, so that's why I'm not asking the head. But if anybody else here is intelligent enough to phrase that in a very particular way to make sure that the talking deadhead gives us a very concrete and succinct answer to the question that I'm looking for, if Rudolph,
He
I
holds
roll
up the head
caucus.
and he turns it towards him, looking into its eyes. Tell me, young, what is Strahd afraid of most? And Jan replies, he's afraid of what he has become.
Probably should have asked who he
that was
was
a
afraid
non-answer.
of.
I
Well,
mean, well,
that would
actually,
reveal
that gives
himself.
you a lot of ammunition when you were talking with your enemy. I think that's why he took our advice so seriously before he kidnapped Irina and reverted back to his old ways.
well, I guess that's a creative way to look at it.
You're insane.
My sister is
Psychological
super
warfare
smart.
is still warfare.
Don't let her
that's
swinging a
interesting.
sword around and wearing heavy armor convince you otherwise. She's got it all right.
You
up
saw
there.
her wear
Listen,
that armor and
listen.
swing that. Sorry.
And he sets the head down in the box. I have fought an intense battle. I am wounded. I need my rest. And he shuts the lid. You're not going to extract any additional information from this head that I have not already done so over the last several years.
Then I'll ask you when you will wake up.
When will I wake up?
No. I'm just take your rest.
Oh.
I
Well-
have many questions, so take it.
Well, can we find you here when we head back this way?
I cannot allow him to take Irina. If
Why
Ismark were
not?
to come back,
It happens.
Would that
if
be
he
so
takes
wrong?
Irina.
He wants
Same-
her. He wants her really bad.
same thing that happens every time. Either she ends up killing herself, or she fights him so hard that he has no choice but to kill her.
So you've been around for these cycles. What?
I have read about them.
How long does it?
You will
it give any
find some
indication?
of the information in that journal you hold. That is his journal.
You got his diary.
Some of the pages are torn out.
No, the book.
Oh, the book from
the Tomb
yeah.
of the Tome of Strahd.
Oh, so I should know that because I read that book. Like I took
You
time
didn't
to-
read all of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I've only given you information that you have taken the time to cipher,
Okay.
and you guys haven't sat down to read it very often, so I haven't made you roll checks to cipher it.
Sure. Well, I've got some reading and writing to do if you want to rest, and maybe think of some questions.
I might.
What time is it at this point?
Yeah, we spent a long time traveling here, I think.
It's like we left pretty early too.
Yeah, I would say about right now, it's probably getting pretty close to sundown. Part of the reason why he probably felt safe riding in after the werewolves left was because it was getting dark, and he felt that he would be comfortable riding in.
How are you wounded? Are you still being chased?
No, it was I who fled the battle. He was still headed east to where I can only assume to be Ravenloft.
Sure.
So he's got Irina, and he's headed to Ravenloft, and we are the only thing that we have that could really help us in besting a nigh immortal creature. This is
Bunch
daily
of
diary.
cards.
A couple of cards.
Yep. I think we need to really focus on this stuff if this is really what it's supposed to help us.
Yeah, I can kind of say that we're kind of behind the eight ball over here for a second, aren't we?
What does that mean? What does behind the eight ball mean?
Oh, it's a term that my mother used to say all the time. You know, it kind of like means, hey, you gotta get your shit together. You know, kind of like a shit or get off the pot.
It's rich folk talk.
What is this shit or get off the pot?
That's
It
pretty
means,
common.
Sounds like you're explaining one.
Means you
with
really
another.
need to figure it out.
This feels like a rabbit hole. We do not need to go down with this card.
What does this mean? Sorry.
And he grabs the chest, and he stands up, just grimacing from the pain.
Rudolph, can we stay here tonight?
Should we stay here tonight?
That is.
Would we stay here tonight?
I don't
I
think
we should. and
anybody
look over our
is
resting
in
friend.
danger of Strahd anytime soon. He has what he wants. heard/saw what happened in Valaki. I have no doubt that even they should be able to sleep easy tonight. Strahd will be
Very
preoccupied.
distracted.
And he just kind of limps into the building. Feel free to sleep wherever you'd like. First floor, fourth floor, doesn't matter. I wouldn't stay on the second or third floor. Those have seen better days. Probably catch some sort of fungal virus from the mold.
How far away is the Wizards of Wine from here?
If I remember correctly, it's all the way on the west side of the map.
No, well, I mean,
Yeah.
we're on the west side of the map. It's just down south a little bit.
You guys would probably have to make camp or
Do you have
arrive
any-
in the dead of night.
Well, I mean, if we were to leave tomorrow morning.
Yeah. No, I'm saying like it would take longer than just a normal, I don't know, 12 hours worth of travel. Like if you left it, I don't know, sunrise, you would be getting there past sunset if you just rode through.
Do you ask
Well-
this aloud? Because I don't think it's wise to travel at night.
I
We still have
would-
to get
It's wise
there.
in your condition, especially.
Thank you for your concern, Temperance.
I mean, he's saying that it takes longer
Also, the
than a
condition
day.
of the road.
So even if we leave tomorrow morning, we still have to camp or arrive at night, which could also be construed as a threat. So
We'll have most of the time to be all right.
yeah,
It's a smaller window to deal with.
And you
rather
hear
than riding through
the sound of the chains fucking carrying him up to his
Yeah.
floor as he's just continuing to just be off on his way.
I don't think he's very interested in hearing. In fact,
think
you know what?
I'm,
Neither am I.
I'm gonna camp out in his cart, because while I appreciate the offer of being surrounded by stone walls, I don't appreciate the lack of my abilities to be super helpful. So I think I could be a little bit more useful there.
But Panton, what if a similarly enabled creature is hunting and seeking you at this very moment?
It's a
Wouldn't
level
the
playing
tower
field.
be the most safest place to be among your compatriots? And
Hey, Honora, you want to join me in the cart?
Sure.
I'm
Yeah.
good.
very well, Panton. I'll just be enjoying the Gigglefoot by myself up in the tower.
Don't tempt me with a good time. I don't want. Oh.
you need
Oh,
to not.
Bit of an unrelated question.
Drink
One
drugs
I'm
Yes, sir.
curious about. When the werewolves were telling me about northwest looking for a cave, any indication of how far away that might be?
You can see the other side of give me a perception check.
All right.
Can't see shit.
So
Yeah, it's getting dark, but you can still see the other side of the lake. It doesn't seem like the lake is too large. Like when they said northwest of it, like it's hard because it's kind of surrounded by woods. On the other side of the lake, you do see that the elevation changes, and it's not like a rocky formation, but it is like a larger hill structure that kind of comes up to, not a point, but a large pinnacle.
I will encourage the horses to cross the isthmus and park the wagon away from the burning one.
Yeah, at this point, the alchemist fire definitely has kind of dwindled out. It's more of a strong ignite, but not something that could be a fuel source and continue to burn off of it. It's like Oh shit.
Thermite.
Like it's like alcohol. You pour alcohol on
Wow.
something and light it on fire. It burns the alcohol really fast, but
Right.
Yeah.
Why did I think
Does
of
anybody
thermite?
have a bell?
Oh, that's a good question.
I'm sorry,
Or
out of character.
anything.
A bell, you said?
Yeah, or anything that makes noises.
Oh, well.
Ira, you should have one.
Don't you have
Oh,
a brother
I have-
who?
Or somebody
Have-
should.
Yes, and I hold up a purse full of coins and I jingle it.
I was just gonna tie it from the wagon to the door, so if anybody came and it made a jingle noise, we would know.
Oh yeah,
And,
no,
and then
I
we
the
jump out of
alarm
the
spell.
wagon. I-
Yes.
Yes, but I don't have the alarm spell any longer. Too much open space. But essentially the same, but mundane stuff.
Oh. Oh, okay. Not the spell, but just
Just literally
Triggered
like yeah, just a
Well, we could have someone keep watch.
I mean,
perhaps. And...
The
I
components
have a
for the
glass
alarm
bottle.
spell require you to have a small bell.
Yeah.
Yes, that's why I
Okay.
mistook it.
So
for
if
that,
you
but it
if
sounds
you
like
have the
she's-
spell, it's okay.
I traded
thought
it
I thought
out
Ira
a long
did.
time ago.
I think
I did at one
that
point.
was the one that we talked about a lot about me getting. You said you did have a book that had it in it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then I would have it because I can
Ritual.
copy.
But it's not
Yeah.
a ritual.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Oh, is it? Okay. Well, then, yeah, if it's a ritual spell and it was in the book that Rose gave me, which, I had it
I think that's
originally,
the point of contention. Was
but
it
but
in
I
that
took
book?
it off my spell list because I never used it.
Yeah, I'll say that's. I'm pretty sure that it's in there. I still keep forgetting to get that book. Somebody's got to send me a message so I can remember once I leave the session.
Okay. So yeah,
yeah.
it's in here if you want to do it, but I can't.
Yes. Yes.
It's kind of like gibberish to me now.
Do you know what I have in my possession?
A bell.
Yes. Very good.
Problem
That's a good guess.
solved. That's why I never used it.
And Ira will excitedly get out his ritual book, and this is all magnified by the fact that he's got it's just crazy charred coat and
Literally looks like he
blasted hair.
just survived an explosion.
Yes.
While you're doing that, I'll set up my sleeping bag in the back of the wagon.
All right. What are the rest of you doing?
Anderson's probably gonna go to just the first floor of the tower.
Like the ground floor?
Yeah, ground floor.
Well,
Okay, yeah, there's some crates, some debris, all empty, but the ground is dry enough.
Did
Still
we not
kinda
find any
dirty.
food?
No food.
I don't think so.
You guys found some
Take
mushrooms.
some mushrooms.
We found some mushrooms,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh,
but I
yeah.
thought in the tower there was no. Damn.
Well, I got ration kits.
I mean, you don't necessarily know the complete ins and outs of the tower. It's not yours, and even though, you had a 23 on investigation, that doesn't mean necessarily that you found everything.
Yeah.
We're looking for food.
I want to look for a fishing pole. Because I don't know. He said he found a turtle once. This Rectavio character, who apparently was this monster hunter the whole time.
Yeah. Okay. Give me an investigation check or a perception, depending on how you're going to be looking for it. Asterius and Temperance, what are you going to be doing?
Probably just keeping watch
Once-
for the most part.
Fair. Once the elevator is up, does it stay up, or can you
You
get
can
it to
call
go-
it.
So
So
you can go.
it's almost, and if you spend some time and you try to figure out the workings of it, it's almost as if stepping into this tower allows these golems to somehow penetrate just the surface of your thoughts, to where when you step up, if you're thinking I want this, elevator to come down and take me up, it's going to come get you.
Like a video game pop-up screen.
Nothing more in my life do I ever want right now than this for this one platform to go up.
I just want to take the elevator.
Do you want to go
Space
up?
back
Do
and
you want to
forth
go
until you make
upstairs?
Yeah, Temperance
I want
will-
up.
will
I want up.
Get this out and
Okay.
take the elevator.
Yeah, you can still hear it clunking away as it's getting to the top. with now you know him as Rudolph. As he's getting to the top, and as soon as he steps off, you can hear the thuds of walking onto the wooden platform.
John,
Yeah.
I think we need to take a break.
Okay. Yeah, I was just getting ready to say that. But yeah, we'll go ahead and take a bathroom break. But it's on its way down to you now. So yeah.
John, before we take the break, did you get my message?
I did not. I didn't realize it got sent. Let me.
Oh yeah, I just sent you one via Discord.
All right, you guys can head off.
BRB.
Does that include me, or should I stay here really quick?
You want me to leave?
Yeah, go to the. Do you not have to go to the bathroom? All right.
Good.
I'm gonna.
Everybody else was getting up, so I was like,
Can you
I'll
hear
just call
anything,
you."
Sarah?
Okay.
Sarah, can you hear anything? I think she's deafened. All right.
Okay, sorry. So what I want to do is go out while everyone is like long resting. I don't know if that's a good idea. And need your advice on this. Like, do I get the feeling of A, it's like too dangerous for me to go by myself, or B, it would just take too long?
Okay. You could probably make it there through the night without issues. It would probably turn in, like, obviously just a little bit of metagaming, but it would probably turn into one of those not quite yet type of deals. Like, you could absolutely go scout it out and it would be but if you were to go tonight, more than likely what's going to happen is they're going to say something along the lines of like, you know what, if you want to go, you'll have to find out. I can't tell you all that information, but you're more than welcome to. I've got things prepared. All right, now go to the bathroom.
So
Go ahead.
Would I lose the benefits of a long rest? Because that's something I absolutely need.
It depends on how long you stayed out.
Okay.
All right.
I see what you're putting down. Yep.
All right.
I will be right back. My bathroom's just right there, so that's
Yeah, you're good.
Is that a whisper?
Just muting us so that they could talk without us.
Mhm. Whatever they just learned, it's enough to make him piss himself, apparently.
I feel so left out. My FOMO is so bad right now.
I'd been like needing to go for a bit, and then as soon as you left, I was like, "This seems like a good time." Like,
As soon as you got up, I was like, John, we probably should take a break.
I should probably.
Everyone's running away.
I'm leaving you. Goodbye.
I didn't want to. I've been into it.
You've been super goofy this session.
I have been. It's just like with the music and like the whole thing that I was about to accomplish, I just felt very inspired.
Did you hear the wolves howling in the one soundtrack for a little bit?
No, I eventually turned it down because I realized like it was making me like want to like do this thing
extra
that wasn't
goofy?
necessarily
Yeah.
But yeah, I missed that. That's funny.
He switched the music, but at one point it was all like real like howl in the background. I was like, that's funny because the dogs have left.
I mean, Ira's got a sense of humor.
We just haven't seen it till now.
It's not true. It's come out like in small ways.
The giggle foot.
Yes, yes. Which I mean, after just surviving, like he's gonna wanna.
Yeah. Get himself high. Panton might take some and then go sleep in the wagon, and I have to deal with that all night. Thanks.
But I mean, he might just pass out in the tower too, and you could have a
I'd be
nice
very
full
worried.
rest.
I mean, yes, I would check on him if he's asleep. I would, enjoy my quiet time.
Rictavio was Van Richten this whole time.
Belfane Richten.
Wow.
Wow.
Based on his like initial picture, I just do not take him as like a this like badass hunter. He just looks so I don't know, innocent.
That's how good he is. He's like
He is good.
he's like what was a reference that I just learned recently? Val Kilmer in The Saint. And he can just
no
morph
idea.
into these different personalities. It's a hilarious spy movie from a long time ago.
Hmm.
Where Val Kilmer does like all these
Not
different
even like that. It's like 2000. 20 years.
so many
Hey,
20
to be
20
fair,
years.
I was only 4 years old in the year 2000.
Yeah.
Shut
That's
up.
a long time these
Yeah.
Oh my
days.
god. I was
Some
graduating high
It's been
school.
20 years.
I work with teens, and 20 years, that's longer than they've been alive, for goodness sake.
My stepson was born in 1998.
I was born in 95.
Wow.
A millennia ago.
Pretty much, dude.
I was an adult by the time Anderson was born.
Yeah, right? Crazy how that stuff works.
Actually, I think I turned
Can I
18
ask
in
how old
2000.
you are?
I'll be 40 next year.
Oh,
The big
I don't
4-0.
seem 40. Sorry.
Yeah. You seem young, hip, and with it, Sarah.
Are we talking about
You make
Sarah's
sense,
age again?
Like you're so
Yep.
cool.
You.
Not that 40-year-olds are cool, but
Yeah, I was born in 1982.
Yeah.
oh my god.
Yep. Like I said, I have a stepson that was born in 1998, and he'll be 24. And then I have a 21-year-old, 19-year-old, an 11, and a 15-year-old.
It's crazy to think that when Sarah and I first met and I was
My
running
11-year-old.
the game,
That's
I was legally allowed not to drink when I first met
Yeah,
Sarah.
you were like 19, weren't you?
legally allowed not to.
I was 19, but
Yeah.
I was coming up to 20,
It's
like
around that
around
way.
when we first
Yeah,
started.
and Mads was only 18.
Yeah,
And Josh was about 22 when we started.
yeah,
23.
yeah, around there.
Yeah, it's been
Oh,
a couple
wow.
years.
Yeah, so it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, I'm usually the oldest person in every campaign because
Mhm.
I'm just a dork.
Nothing wrong with that.
Oh,
Ah.
nothing. Yeah.
Especially because I have that face that people just don't believe I'm as old as I am, so I get away with it a lot. I could have told anybody I was 31, and you guys would have all believed me.
Right.
100%.
Actually, new girl at work got hired, and she was like, "I swear to God, you were like 24," and I was like, "Thanks, that was a long time ago."
Thanks. If I had a nickel.
Yeah. But Temperance, your dice, I should actually have them done this weekend. I took a break last weekend and didn't touch
Nice.
anything, so
Oh yay! Thank you.
you're welcome. I'll work on them
So
tomorrow.
excited.
So then we just have to get together and do a trade-off or something.
I mean, that sounds
Sarah?
pretty fun.
Sarah
Actually, hold on.
met me at the
Oh, I was gonna say I'm doing a ladies karaoke on Friday. It's for
Oh wait,
nerds.
tomorrow Friday?
Yeah,
Day
no,
after
tomorrow's
tomorrow
Thursday.
Friday?
Day after tomorrow Friday. Yeah.
No, I'll be in Texas.
But
Seriously.
once a month I
Texas
host
tonight.
a ladies only nerd get together night, and it's just a bunch of random like D&D players and Pokemon and anime and Harry Potter, and we just do nerd shit.
Word.
But it's for women only. And the next
I
one,
love it. I'm all about it.
the
All
next
about
one
solidarity.
is January 7th, and I think we're playing a one shot of D&D if you want to.
Ooh.
Since you're local, hang out with us, meet some new lady friends. It's because as adults, it's hard to make friends, okay?
Absolutely.
It is.
And D&D is a great way to do that, but
Yep.
I mean, it's a male-dominated game. It's
Yep.
rare to
Yep.
find a lot of ladies, so it was just my way of getting some more female energy in my life.
Mhm. The ancient roots
Love that.
of
That's so wonderful.
sweaty neckbeards in their mother's basement, unable to actually handle the idea of a woman sharing a hobby with them.
Oh my god. All right, Panton must be pooping, so we're gonna go ahead
He
and
had
rock
work
and roll.
drama, he said.
Yeah, he
Oh,
had work
did he?
trauma. He said he'd be here, but
That's okay. We can go ahead and get started. We'll just say that he.
Wait. Can everyone else hear John? Because I can't.
Oh,
Yeah, I
yeah.
can hear him. Yeah.
yeah.
leave the call and
What?
rejoin real quick.
Yeah.
You want me to leave the call and rejoin real quick?
No, just Temperance. 'Cause
He
I
can't hear
usually-
you.
Is she the only one?
Yeah.
She's the only one.
Yeah, I fit in. No, I hear you, John. I do fit in.
You get two this every other week, and you think I was bad.
Welcome back.
Hello.
There we go.
Awesome. Cool.
That was super weird.
That is
Have a
super
massive
weird. All right, so the night is yours. Honora and Panton have gone to set up sleeping bags in Van Richten's wagon. Temperance has started to take the elevator upstairs. Now she's making a potion of some sort.
Oh, I'm just making some tea.
No, I'm just kidding.
Mm.
A potion.
Asterius, what'd you say you were gonna do? You were
I
just
was
keeping
just
watch?
taking watch. Yeah, just keeping watch essentially because somehow, despite setting all of those werewolves on fire, I am not the most injured person in the room.
Okay.
So that's incredible. So yeah, he's just kind of keeping an eye out.
All right, what does that look like for you? Where are you positioned? Are you just standing out front? Are you kind of
For now, it's probably like essentially in the doorway, more or less.
okay?
On
Just
the first
pulling
floor.
over one of the crates from the ground and kind of using it to sit and prop yourself up against the wall, peering out into the.
Yeah, pretty much. Just sort of taking a moment, arms crossed under his chest, having to think about literally all of these revelations that are kind of been dealed out on the table. That apparently the party has these like cards that were hinted at, like these actual weaknesses to Strahd. And now I guess best way to put it, like the mental rush of trying to put them all together now, and he's having to work with limited pieces on the board. But
Yeah, they've
just
known
more
about
so-
this for days, and you just got fed all this information all at
it
once.
got dropped on him.
Yeah.
So it's a case where he's very much thinking, and having to process this in the way a bitter old fart of a military man can.
Ira, what'd you say that your character was doing?
Fishing pole.
Fishing pole. Okay, give me an
Fishing
investigation check. You did. You gave
I
me a
did.
26. Yeah. As you start looking around, looking kind of underneath of the scaffolding in the first floor, you find a long fishing line, and you eventually find it, and you grab it, and you start reeling towards it, and you find part of a broken fishing pole, the top half, and then eventually find the bottom half, and it's singed with fire. It appears that some of their supplies were kept inside of that wagon.
Shit.
But
Considering,
go ahead. No,
considering
you go ahead.
my background of like where I grew up and like, is there any hope that my character would possibly know how to fix this, or like fix something up similar to it to try to go for some
How would
catch?
how would you know? How would you fix it? If you are your character, how would you go about fixing this?
Oh man,
Duct tape.
pretty much like if there's a way to like connect the two pieces again, using twine, sap and resin maybe from a tree.
Okay.
It would probably take a while to be reliable, so maybe I don't have the time actually to do that for just staying here at night.
Give me a survival check.
Oh boy, I'm famously good at these. But that would make sense. Yeah, no.
you're looking at all of these parts, and like, even though you grew up in your circumstances, it's like you've always been able to find these type of tools already put together. You've never had to fix or do that forging on your own. There was always just something you could find already put together. So unfortunately, at least you, for the moment, don't know. Like, you know that there's things to work with here, but you can't figure out the combination yourself.
Well, shit. I guess I got out some rations and go find Temperance to cook up those mushrooms at least.
You end up making your way after, a couple minutes of waiting for the elevator to come back down and you taking your way up to the top. Eventually you find Van Richten still bandaging himself up in his bed. But you see Temperance up there as well.
You got those mushrooms, or are you gonna hold on to them for tomorrow morning?
We could eat them now if you wanted to.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I was looking around for a fishing pole. Do you have a fishing pole? A working fishing pole? I saw the one that's broken.
I had one. Esmeralda stayed here with me for a while as she was training, and we decided to keep our things. In hindsight, it probably wasn't the smartest idea, but we thought, or at least she thought, that the sign would be enough and the lock would deter anybody, but alas, a lot of our supplies have been destroyed. I'll have to make a trip into Valaki within the next couple of days to buy more equipment.
If I ever meet this Esmeralda, I will tell her that if the sign was supposed to be enough, why rig it in the first place? Anyway, get your rest.
He kind of looks at you, and there are some things in there that if they fell into the wrong hands, it wouldn't be good for anybody.
Well, they're all destroyed now, so I hope we didn't need them.
You did not. Maybe she did, or I did, but you did not. So, rest easy. He looks over at you, Temperance. He's underneath of that table over there. There's a pot, and you can heat it up. And you look on top of the wood-burning stove, and he's just kind of pointing and making some gestures. You can see a spot that had clearly worn away, that he had set that pot on multiple times to heat and boil water with. Like, the water in the lake is fresh enough. You can use that if you'd like, unless you have water in your skin or something you'd rather use.
I think I would rather not go back downstairs.
I'll get it. You just get the mushrooms ready then.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Anderson, what are you doing during this whole thing?
I understand. Want to actually go up to Van Richten, because both being hunters and all. But yeah, he just kind of makes his way up. Is he still bandaging himself up?
Can I have an autograph?
Is there anything Anderson thinks he could do to help?
Give me a medicine check.
Medicine isn't that bad for me. But, my rolls, my luck is just not great.
Sometimes the dice is just like that.
You see him, bending down, reaching, trying to wrap part of, his calf. Seems to have a deep laceration in it. And he's, struggling to bend over. You can hear his heavy breathing from potentially a wound up in his abdomen area. And, allow me to help with the gauze, and as you're kind of wrapping it around, like you wrap it too loose and they just kind of fall down and they're not holding right, and he just kind of pats you on the shoulder and it's okay.
It's like helping Michael Jordan with this.
Yeah, I can do it. I appreciate your help. It's okay.
You didn't get any
No.
medicine training as a bounty hunter.
You know, it's
Temperance
kind
calls over and says, "You can help me with these mushrooms instead."
of Anderson just kind of looks up and says, you know, based on the stories I told, I thought you'd be taller.
Strong things can come in smaller packages. I can assure you of that.
That's fair. Just, my mentor would talk about you a lot. Didn't think I'd meet you in the flesh here.
A lot of the stories, just folklore, fables. Some of them are true, of course, but you know, a lot of people believe what they want. Sometimes they can be disappointed when they finally meet their heroes to find out that they are just as human as they are.
Fair point.
Did you
So
say that you had mushrooms? I haven't had mushrooms in quite some time. You wouldn't mind if I maybe had one, would you? I haven't eaten yet today.
We have plenty. You're up here, so you might as well. And you're housing us. Not many people do that for me.
There's some tea in... And he gets up and he kind of uses your shoulder as you were crouched down on his leg. And give me an insight check, Anderson.
Yeah, let's see if I can roll well. Okay, that's a little better.
As he stands up and he grabs a hold of your shoulder, using it as kind of like a crutch standing up, you get the feeling that he changed the subject and kind of removed himself from the situation because it doesn't seem like he likes talking about Van Richten himself. Like, you remember from being in the tavern, like, he was boisterous and he was talking about Rictavio's Carnival of Wonders and excellent, everything. And he was, drawing attention to that character. But as soon as you're, talking to him about his accolades and things that he's done in the past and the fact that other people, talk about him as like a hero, he gets uncomfortable. And he, steps up and comes over and he comes over to the table and what appears to just be a solid wood kind of frame to the top, he pulls into the side and opens up like a secret compartment and pulls out a couple bags of tea and shuts it. And it's like it's just a mint tea if you'd like that. And he goes behind the wood stove and you can see a small bucket of water, and he just takes the entire bucket and he sets it on top of the wood burning stove.
What a dick.
Maybe you shouldn't have blown up his friend's fucking wagon.
It's a very good point.
We'll discuss
Wow.
it later on. That's fine.
And so he sits back down and he's like, feel free to use any of my things. If you need anything, don't hesitate to ask. I can provide.
Very well, thank you very much. Temperance just stifles such intense laughter.
It's all the giggles
Gives her a
that
little
go
bit of joy to see other people kind of get made fun of a little bit.
Yeah. And when Van Richten sits back down on the bed, he looks at you, Anderson, and What's your story?
You know about the Blood Hunters?
Yes, I'm aware of them.
Pretty typical story.
Oh, is that
Grew
is that what you are?
What do you mean?
Are you a part of their order?
Anderson like kind of shows off like the ring on his finger with the Blood Hunter's signet.
That's quite the accomplishment yourself.
Well, ain't a member yet. That's why I'm here. Got someone to kill first.
Those initiations, I never really did like them. That's kind of why I did my own thing.
Kind of fucked up.
Well, what
You're
can I
either
say?
cut out for it or you're not. It doesn't matter. You don't need anybody else to tell you whether or not you are. If you want to fight evil, then fight evil.
Noted. Just, well, sink or swim. And I plan on swimming.
Fair enough. And he just kind of sits there for a little bit. Ira.
Yeah, at this point, we'll have returned. Yeah, I'll come. Oh, you know what? I'll come in.
How did
and
no?
I'll be
Not yet. Not yet.
panting and huffing. Okay.
How did you plan on retrieving water from the lake?
I guess I would have grabbed the pot that we were going to
Okay.
use.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. But just the pot full of water then?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you make it down to the lake and you dump the pot into the water and pull it out, and give me a dexterity check to see how full the pot is when you return.
I mean, I worked in a...
I mean, it sloshes off the top a little bit, but for the most part, it returns pretty well full. Yeah, and you make your way back, and it's a relatively calm mood.
All right, I've got...
Yeah, you definitely see the entire pot and you can even kind of hear it as soon as you get to the top, and the chains stop clunking once it reaches the 4th floor. You can hear the bubbling of the boiling water on the wood burning furnace.
I said I was going to go get some. Did one of you use your water skin for no reason?
Oh,
Just had some lying around. Sorry.
there was some... I had some water up here already. My mistake. I didn't think to ask.
Didn't think to ask is more... Did you hear what I said?
I did. Sorry. It's still foggy from, fighting Strahd and all. It's been a long day.
I fought Strahd. What the fuck did you do? You got blown up in a fucking van.
Yeah,
yeah.
that must be rough. Yeah, nothing happened to me recently that would have made it inconvenient for me to go fetch some water.
Ira, why don't you have a seat?
I was just about to. Thank you, Temperance. Very kind, thoughtful. Ira will go sit down and fidget.
Anderson just looks back at Van Richten. So you're hunting Strahd then, yeah?
Even more so now.
Can I make a weird request?
I cannot stop you from requesting. I can only tell you whether or not I will or will not assist.
Well, the way I reckon it, you're gonna kill him, or I am. But if you get to him first, can you save his head for me? I got a great place on my wall. I want to hang it up.
I will do what I can. At the end of the day, a kill is a kill. And if you take time trying to dictate the rules of how you kill someone, you'll end up dead yourself. Sometimes you have to take what is available, and if his head is the only way for me to do it, then unfortunately that is the way that I will take.
I'm noticing a trend of decapitated heads this session.
So way back when Anderson took one of the heads of the vampire spawn, just carried it around with him for a while. So this is kind of harkening back to that.
You'll do well to know that when you kill him, he does not die unless he is in direct sunlight. He does not die unless he is in running water. He does not die if he has a coffin to go back to.
I mean, what happens if you don't do that?
He assumes his mist form, retreats to his coffin, and regenerates. But if he is killed via those other options, he is in direct sunlight when he turns to his mist form, he is in running water, there will be no head. There will be no Strahd.
Well, that's fair enough.
Mist form. You mean that Strahd can take many forms?
Yes.
It's not just big, scary monster?
Wolf, bat, human. He can change himself even between different human shapes. And then there is mist. Turn to nothing more than a fog. Fit through the tiniest cracks in walls, windows.
Ira will have been getting thoughtful after thinking back to his conversation with Strahd. And also mention one of our group who's no longer with us. Fishermen came to him in the middle of the night, claiming to be called the Sealy. And
Yes, that is one of his aliases, his most popular one. He uses that one to go into towns unsuspected, and it's no use telling the villagers. It'll only incite panic. Honora and Panton, out in the wagon, was it just sleepy time?
No, we're actually having a conversation.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Yeah, in the Adelard chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have been for a few minutes.
Okay.
So
Anything
you can read that later.
like noteworthy that you guys want to continue doing that, or is there any questions that you want to...
I think it's important that we continue doing that, and you
Okay.
need to read it later.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah.
at some point, I would like to confer with the Adelards. I don't know if I might have done it when I would go down to get the water, but I would do it later, maybe if they were busy.
Okay, Asterius,
Arguing.
give me a perception check being out there doing watch.
Sure. Sure can do. 25.
Okay. Okay.
You don't see it.
Kind of patrolling the small little island that you're on. Something catches your eye to the northwest specifically. You can see some flickering torchlights just above the tree line, seeming to be jutting out from the side of the large hill that you can see in the distance. Having not overheard the conversation between Anderson and Zulika, you wouldn't know what it is, but you do see flickering torchlight. It
I think
doesn't
he
appear to be
called.
getting closer. It's just
Right.
there.
Yeah, I think he'd inform the rest, like shout up to the next floor, essentially, or at least call up to the next floor, saying,
Okay.
"Don't know what it is or what's going on with it. There's torchlight across the river."
What direction?
Is it
Sound
northwest?
travel that far up?
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, you could yell up. However, I cannot remember how tall his tower is.
So tall.
Approaching the tower.
It is.
It's 80 feet tall. Yeah.
It's plot relevant tall. Yeah, he would call up to that. You said it was from the northwest, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he would say it's from the northwest. It doesn't appear to be getting closer.
Anderson will just kind of drop whatever conversation he's having and go to where like Asterius is.
You go down the very slow elevator in a very hurried rush.
Impatiently.
If you didn't want to do that, there are windows on the top tower floor. Like you would be able to peer out one of them and look in that general direction.
Okay. Yeah, I mean he said northwest, so I'll look out to northwest. So I know it was mentioned to me that's where they are. Would this be ringing any bells for me personally?
I mean, for you, I think it would be hard to not assume that this is where they were talking about.
Okay. Yeah, and still going on the very slow elevator.
Okay.
Very intense, very action packed.
Just pacing back and forth, just like arms folded, just impatient.
It's like listening to electro when you're on the elevator, like. But yeah, when you get down there,
what do you do?
I was gonna say when you get down there, Asterius was gonna point it out to you.
Right.
Just right along the tree line, you can see the reflections of the light in the water.
Well, now we know where the werewolves are. That's where I was told that they are hiding out.
He looks to you at that. Was it not just mentioned not too long ago that we should pay heed of these werewolves?
Maybe, but a couple things. One, they hate Strahd. And two, they seem like they could help me with something. They didn't say what, but I have a feeling.
And perhaps it's in our best interest to reopen conversation with them on more amenable terms.
Think so. And like, do these lights look like they're like way off in the distance?
I mean, probably close to, I don't know, a mile away.
Okay. Look, maybe we should go talk to them. At the very least.
We should inform the rest, though. Let them know what we're doing.
I'll go
Seeing
get
if they want to go along.
I'll go get the siblings, see if they want to join.
Sure. You do that, and I'll let the others know upstairs.
Yeah, Anderson just kind of goes up to like the car, just starts banging on him. Wake up! Situation.
What's the situation?
Remember those werewolves we ran into?
Yeah.
Rings a bell.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
Just
we
happened not
just
even
came
like 3
across them.
hours ago.
Just making sure. Well, I know where they are. And
Oh?
based on what we know, they might be able to help us based on the readings. I think we should go open a conversation with them again.
Is Ira in good enough shape to actually do that?
That is a fair point. He did get exploded.
Well, so long as you don't provoke a fight, I think you'll be fine. But you don't have to go with.
As you're thinking about that, looking out at Anderson, he still looks pretty roughed up himself.
Oh yeah, I'm on like 14 health.
Oh, okay. Well,
That's two
forget
better
it.
than 12.
just like in a Douglas Adams fashion, like, oh yeah, I'm bleeding.
I mean, if you guys really feel up to it, but you're bleeding, he exploded.
Well, as long as we don't pick any fights, Panton.
Are we
we
sure
should
that
be
there's going to
fine.
be no fights that come pick us?
I mean, there could be a fight on the way to the werewolves. This place is awful.
They're only about a mile away or so. I think we should be fine.
If you think you're up for it, I'm fine.
I want to hear what they have to say.
Already around this time, Asterius, you're still on your way up the slow elevator. And it appears Ira's already dug into the mushrooms.
On save.
No.
Stage
But-
No,
check,
Temperance
then.
knows her mushrooms.
But yeah, you did prepare the mushrooms, and you're all just kind of sitting around, eating them, and yeah, then Asterius kind of pokes his head up as the elevator's coming through the floor.
It's a very slow poke until eventually shoulders, arms, and the rest. Stone-faced as ever, doesn't seem to be bothered by it. Before he steps over. Change of plans. It looks like Anderson wants to open up a talk with him. Thinks it might be the werewolves.
Van Richten rolls over. Listen, all of you, I did extend my tower to you to stay. But you're either going to stay or you're not. If you continue to come up and down this rattling chain elevator, I'm gonna have to ask that you stay on the first floor. I am exhausted, I am wounded, and I would really, really like some rest. So stay or leave. Do not do both.
Asterius just kind of shrugs his shoulder at that. That's a totally reasonable request. Before he looks to the others, I plan on telling them anyways that it'd be best to save it till the morning. That way we can go there when we're all rested up. There's no guarantees, even the werewolves to begin with.
Doesn't seem safe to go out. I'd rather stay in.
I mean, why does Anderson think that it is the werewolves in the first place?
Apparently they told them. Oh, he was told by them.
Oh, he's not the type to misunderstand that sort of thing. Probably is them. They did offer him some help. He could go, but he doesn't seem in the best shape to do that, so...
Exactly my thoughts.
You wouldn't go with him, Priest? I know that would be perhaps a lot to ask.
I do not feel confident if it was only me and him. They would outnumber us.
Well, they would outnumber you. They seem to like him.
Another way to put
Neither
it,
you or I
suppose.
gave a favorable impression.
No, I didn't. And this would be on a more open
Then
environment.
let's just tell him to rest.
It'd be for the best.
Temperance, you're definitely hearing and taking all of this information in. Like, the tower is small enough that anybody that's up there can hear any of the conversations that are going on.
Mm. Cool. Well, it gives a nod to that. Looks to Temperance to see if she wanted to give any input on that.
Anderson saved my life. Best thing I can do is recommend that he doesn't hurt himself.
Noble. Very noble. Very well. My apologies, Mr. Van Richten. I'll be going down once more, but it'll be the last time that I use this elevator for the night.
And he kind of, without even rolling over, he just opens his mouth and... Is anyone else thinking of needing to make a late night run? Do so now.
Ira looks at Temperance.
I would like to rest. Would you?
Well, sure. Are you going down?
I don't plan to. Do you?
I know it's very comfortable up here.
Yes.
It is much warmer, definitely cozier up here on this 4th floor, even though the only luxury that you're provided is basically whatever sleeping bag or mat that you want to lay out and rest. Van Richten has the only bed that's in there.
It's fine.
Cool.
Do I
Neither
have a
you're
pet
going
or
down. If neither you are going down,
No way,
then Asterius will go back down to take his post. He stands there, arms crossed, slowly descending, slowly, still arms crossed, eyes shut in thought.
Da-da-da-da.
He vanishes. And then he'll walk over to Anderson and relay. It'd be in your best interest if you would wait until the morning when it comes to this.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. I do need to rest up a bit.
You would need to rest up, otherwise it would just be me and you. And I'll be quite honest with you. I do not feel comfortable expending the amount of resources to get you into fighting shape and also deal with the possibility of that whole pack going against just us.
I don't know this us deal. They seem to be mighty mad at you, though.
Then allow me to be a bit more blunt. I don't know you well enough to risk my hide on that level. Is that more truthful to your liking?
Actually, yes.
Then we have an understanding. He sort of clasps you on the shoulder before walking back and taking his post.
I think at this point, we've climbed out of the wagon and we're getting ready to go, right, Panton?
Yep.
Ah, fucking hell.
She just goes, sorry guys, change of plans.
Ah. And here I was ready to go all guns a-blazing and everything, and
Well,
I'm
we didn't need to do guns a-blazing. All right. We told you that tomorrow probably worked better, but it's fine. Go to bed.
This is where Anderson tells him, well, you could ride up the elevator and talk to Ira about it.
This is how you get us kicked out of Rudolph's house.
would be totally on
This
brand.
is how
Yeah.
this is how you lose a long rest right now. This is how you lose a long rest.
No,
Or you
I think Panton and I are gonna go back into our wagon.
Yeah, Anderson, he's just gonna.
our wagon, the wagon we also stole from Van Richten.
Yes, but it's not annoying him for us to be in there, so.
Yeah, with that, Anderson's just gonna go to the first. He's gonna stay on the first floor of the tower and just go to sleep there.
Anybody else doing anything before we... It doesn't appear that any watches have been set.
Oh, I mean, beyond Asterius, no, I don't think so. So unless Anderson
Yeah, Anderson
Harold
could
wants
take, like,
to
second
wants to
watch.
tag out for that.
Okay.
Ira will get up and watch for part of the night. He's staying up there to nobody's knowledge.
All right.
At least he's staying up there because Temperance is staying up there, and we haven't known Temperance for that long. And then Richten seems to be a pretty good ally. So he will
Okay.
keep some watch. He'll even invite Temperance to a game of cards.
Okay. Yeah, so I assume that you're not going to wake Temperance up in the middle of the night to play some cards, so I imagine
this
that
would
you're also taking first watch.
Watch, yes.
Okay.
Hey, wake up! You want to play some solitaire? Hey.
Hey!
Hey, I have Yahtzee.
Jack!
Mhm.
Want to play Rummy?
Wait, when do you play some cards with me?
Probably after dinner.
Before we go to bed?
Before we go to
Okay.
bed.
Yeah, before you guys go to bed, it sounds
Yeah.
like.
It's cool. That's chill. Temperance would be down for some cards. Temperance doesn't know any card games, but Temperance is down. For
Ira will teach you.
Cool.
Egyptian Ratsku, and we just slammed the table and
That game so much.
Oh my
we play
god.
something quiet.
Okay.
I have a deck of cards in my car for anybody who wants to play Egyptian Rat Screw.
I love Egyptian
God.
Ratsku.
It's so fun.
Trying to think, I've got a list of games, but they're all dice games.
Wait,
Um,
I have cards, right? I thought maybe I do.
No,
Dice.
I know. I was thinking of
Oh,
how
oh,
you
you
could
to
actually
play?
play.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
interesting. Okay.
it took me a
Rollies?
moment. It took me a moment to think of what Egyptian rat screw was. It's slap. It's just slap. Okay, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got cards.
What is that?
Egyptian
It's
Ratsku is a way better
sad.
name.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Aww,
My boyfriend just walked in with it for me.
that is adorable.
oh, super nice.
I suppose you guys could play 21 if you wanted to.
Sure.
You roll a
I'll
d10.
also teach her war. It's like this
Show?
is the first card game I ever learned.
Yeah, you know what?
We'll
Just
start
if you
basic.
wanna play, just roll d20s against each other
Hang up holding.
and see who wins.
Providing portable, non-dimensional space since 1974.
That's awesome.
Delightful.
And I try to sleight of hand to like just keep drawing higher cards
Ira, are you cheating
at war.
at war?
We're not even betting anything, but I'm gonna do it anyway as a joke. To see
Uh,
if she
Roll that
notices.
for? Panton, what did you roll that for?
Oh, I just wanted to see me.
Is that
roll
all right,
on
John?
my 21.
yeah,
Okay.
you're more than welcome to. It'll be against her passive perception. Yeah, I mean, unless she has any sort of reason to find you to be an untrustworthy
Cheating
individual.
bastard! Call it what it is.
Okay, I mean, part of it
No,
is just
I
a
don't-
test to see like how insightful or perceptive Temperance is, and so
Okay.
he'll like keep pulling like larger cards, and when he shuffles, he'll stack the deck in his favor, and it's like, man, this is not normally how the game goes, but it seems like I just keep drawing higher cards than you. I must be luckier than you.
Yeah.
Have you had bad luck?
Oh my god.
If you've had bad
No,
luck,
I
can you
can't
write it
say I
down in the
play a lot of
application?
games. This is an unusual one for me.
This reminds
Luck in
me of
games,
early
luck in
on
life.
when we had our sparring contest, only nobody was cheating in that.
Oh yeah.
I just had terrible luck that day.
Oh yeah, and Temperance would have done terribly anyway.
But yeah, you guys have some laughs. Play a game of cards. It's relatively relaxing. Ira, give me a perception check to see how well you keep watch with disadvantage since you're playing cards.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna take a watch after.
Oh,
she
after.
goes to
Okay.
bed, but I mean, do you want me to roll for that?
Yeah, you can do
Okay.
that. Okay. You open up the window. It's kind of facing out away from the lake. take in the night's air, listening. It seems quiet.
I'll be really fascinated by that. I'll try to like summon my mage hand, and it won't work inside the tower. Correct? Still,
Right.
I'll think of the Adelards and say to myself, that conversation will have to wait till later. I'll look over at Temperance. Seems innocent enough. It's interesting.
Can Temperance hear you saying that?
He would be no, it'd be like really quiet. And after people have gone to bed.
Would
Shouldn't
you?
she be asleep?
Yeah. After you're done with the cards, he's taking first
Yeah.
watch, or he's taking
that's
a
fair.
watch up there. Would you go to sleep? Would you have any nighttime rituals that you would do?
I mean, normally I think Temperance would write.
Mm-hmm.
She might save it for morning, depending on. It's a big day. She can just head straight to sleep and then we try and write in the morning.
Okay.
It's up to you. Is that what you would do? Is that what you would do? Because Ira would like ask her about what she's writing about otherwise.
Yeah, Temperance probably suspects that Ira would try and make conversation about her writing, and that leads to
Not
I
writing.
don't really want you to ask me about this. Yeah, exactly.
It's just going to bed.
Save it for when everyone else is asleep.
Okay. But yeah, for your little bit of watch time, nothing happens. Asterius, you already rolled for your portion of the watch and saw
No.
what you saw. Nothing else happened. But then you wake up. Anderson next. Was that what you said you were going to do?
Yeah, like I was pretty sure it was Asterius and Anderson.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to make sure. Yeah.
Yep.
Anderson, go ahead. Taking second watch. Go ahead and give me a perception check. You find yourself drawn to the northern edge of this small little island, looking out towards the flickering lights. And it's weird. Like the gray clouds in the sky almost silhouette the hill more than it did during the daytime. And you swear you can almost make out, even in the flickering of the light, that there's something about at least that part of the hill. The shape seems so vaguely familiar. Entranced by the flickering flame, it comes to shape. And it seems like carved into the side of the hill is the head of a wolf. Still large. Just barely peeking above the tree line. Other than that, the night goes by uneventful. You hear the croaking of some frogs on the edge of the lake. Some hooting of owls, cawing of ravens from the woods. But other than that, nothing stirs. No major movements in the night. What do you do at the end of your 2 hours or so watch?
Time to go wake up the siblings again. Anderson is just gonna go and like who would be like in like the back of the car, like nearest the entrance.
I imagine we'd be like side by side.
All right. Honora odds, Panton evens.
Oh boy.
Odds, Nora. Anderson wakes up Nora and just tells her to
Dinner attack?
no, just take a few hours watch.
Oh no. Panton's the older one now. He has to do that stuff. And I'll elbow Panton a little bit.
Ah,
Your turn
oh,
for watch, big brother.
oh, as bigger brother, I'm telling you to do it. I'll put a heel into your thigh and then roll over.
Fine. I'll rub the soup out of my eyes and I'll just kind of sit at the end of the cart.
Anderson, do you go lay down on the first floor again? Take a sleep.
Yep.
Okay. Honora, give me a perception check.
Good, I'm good at these. Not terrible.
Kind of sitting at the foot of the trailer, or the carriage, the door opened, listening to your brother breathe, thinking on the events, how much has happened over this such a short period of time. Just this load of information dumped on you from Van Richten, confirming some of the things that you already thought, being the person of, at least out of the group, that had put so much focus on those cards, the one that seemed to be the one that brought it up at every moment's notice when you thought it would be of importance, and coming to find out that it was so important, and all the information and how much help it could be during this fight. You feel a momentary sense of relief that this could happen. You guys could do this. If you're able to find these items, that it could help.
I'm also gonna interject and say that I find a sense of urgency based on what Panton and I just discussed.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Then even thinking along those lines, just realizing how important these items are. Sitting in that deep thought, some of it dark, some of it hopeful, you hear this very faint of a cat.
This fucking cat won't go away.
You cannot see it, but you can hear it.
There's no way
I
it's the same
will-
cat.
And it is somewhere
cat.
out in the distance. You can hear it.
I will kind of get to the front. I will slide off of the cart and
Mhm.
kind of crouch down, and I'll hold out a piece of jerky and be like, "Here, kitty, 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 kitty."
And coming from behind you, from underneath of the cart, you can hear the soft thud of its foot pads landing in the grass, seeming to being holed up underneath of the carriage. It comes out, and it just willingly takes the jerky from your hand, and just kind of you can now hear the purring of the cat.
You're a tough one too, huh? Followed us all the way out here. Kempers will be happy to see you. What's your name, little kitty? I'm just kind of talking at it.
Yeah.
Oh.
And after, as it's taking the food and kind of drops it into the grass and just kind of chewing at it and making its way through the food, and now heeding you, little mind.
Yeah.
Now fully engrossed in this, it still has its tail wagging as it's left its guard down, now fully focused on the food in front.
Matt, what would you do to protect a loved one? Would you even? Would you just run away when things got hard?
It's a cat. It's a cat, Honora.
Nora doesn't know much
Well,
about
then again-
cats. She's just talking to herself. She's musing about her day.
Mm-hmm.
What if he turns? What if he hurts people? What am I to do, Cat? I don't know. What would you do?
As you say that, it looks up at you and just, like, you can see the moist nature of its nose and its mouth area from, you know, chewing on the jerky, trying to make it soft enough to be, you know, edible enough for it. And it just takes its long, you know, tongue and just kind of brushes it over its face, kind of cleaning itself for a moment, and then sits upright and just kind of looks at you for a moment.
You're right. I gotta bring him home. I need. We need to find a way to control it. It could just be a side effect. Thank you, Cat. And I'll just kind of absentmindedly sit there and play with my dagger in the ground for the rest of the night.
But the night goes by uneventfully. Do you do anything for the final watch?
No.
Okay. Do you fall asleep or do you stay awake
Look at that cat.
for 4 hours?
I think I might just fall asleep at the bottom of the wagon and not wake up anybody and be terrible at the
That's
last
fair.
watch. It's been an emotional day.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
The cat has smothered you, and
You suffer 16
It
points of
wasn't a
damage.
cat.
I was just kind of sitting there ruminating,
The
and I
cat
just kind of
was
leaned against
Strahd.
the
Told
wagon
you,
wheel.
it
and
was
just
a
kinda
fucking
passed
cat, man. The moment you let your guard down, that cat's like, more fucking food, baby. Let's fucking go.
it.
Um
Anyways,
no, the cat
takes the final watch, protects us all.
yeah, something like that.
Look at this. I
you
am
end
the
up-
Morning Lord.
Yeah. You end up sleeping. All of you take the benefit of a long rest.
Nice.
Does Anderson get the long rest too?
Yep, Anderson gets the long rest.
Oh, finally.
Hey, let's go.
Temperance, you have a dream. Not a nightmare. Not like a happy dream, but just a dream. You've had similar dreams in the past, but none specifically about this. You hear your deity speaking with you. You're not able to respond, like you think things in your head, but this is, you know, more of an informational dream. You see, floating above your own body in the tower, and just feeling the instinct flying straight through the window, looking back over the lake, and flying south in the dark, above the trees, passing over a ruined castle, and then a swampy marshland, and you see a large dead tree in the middle of it. Looking in the distance as your body continues to sail through the air, you see you're headed straight for a large snowy mountain. And as you zoom up this side trail up towards the top, you can see a large entrance, not made for any mere mortal person, even a giant. This door is so much larger than what is needed for anything you've ever seen. Large hooded statues on either side of the door, kind of tucked back in these recesses, carved directly into the mountains. Your deity urging you, seek me, find me, I will bless you with more powers than I have already. Find me here, to the south. You'll know it when you see it. And as you fly into this large doorway, it's blackness. And that's when your body wakes up, naturally, opening to a somewhat brighter day as a little bit of light trickles in to the closed drapes. And that's where we'll pick up next time.